He cut out for a second. You might want to say it again. He didn't hear you.
Well, he's currently deaf, and for whatever reason, maybe he's sorting his audio
Pussy.
Eden.
out.
Sorry.
Jason, you able to sort your mic out?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah.
Radio check.
Jesus fuck, he lives in a tunnel.
Yeah, it is a bit echoey.
Yeah, there's not too much in this. Be one in a minute.
Let's see if I can fix it my end by turning you up a little bit.
Are we waiting for something?
We're waiting for Jason to sort his audio out.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just in an echoey room right now. You guys can go ahead and start.
I thought you were the one that wanted to start.
Right. Jason takes a position that humans are herbivores. SD says no, fuck off. So, debate.
Yeah, explain to me why humans are herbivores then, given the fact that we're very clearly not. And there's about 10 points that I can bring to you, so what's your position?
Okay. Teeth, jaw, saliva, acidity, stomach, intestine, alkalinity, length, colon acidity,
Length.
colon length, the fact that we die from heart disease and colon cancer at a rate of, I think, 3 billion a year. I think I heard some shit like that for the world.
Yeah, more people die from smoking than that.
So. No, that's not true. Heart disease is the #1 killer of humans.
And most of that is brought on by smoking. So
you think so? How many people you see smoking?
Loads, dude.
I see more people fat and unhealthy and eating plaque cholesterol, which is the #1 killer of humans.
Somebody else spoke, and I think I might have cut them off, but who was it?
I eat so much cholesterol and shit, so like, do you think I'm just on the edge of dying? Like, I eat so much cholesterol, man. Like, I eat so much fatty food, so much like, just like comfort foods and like shit, just because like it makes me feel good and like, warm and fuzzy and shit. So I think I'm gonna die early and shit. I don't know. I think about that shit sometimes. I'm like, fuck, what's brewing up in my heart valves right now? What's clinging to the walls?
It's scary to say it like that, but what I'm saying is, if you eat plaque cholesterol, which is animal fat, that's LDL cholesterol, which is found in your heart and in your arteries when they open you up to see what killed you, and they scrape all this cheesy shit out of your arteries.
Do you say wait? You say 3 billion deaths?
I can't confirm that 100%, but I just read that.
Where did you read
I want to say 1 million or billion. I'm not sure what. I haven't checked. Like I said,
there's a bit of a difference, so you might as well post your source, right?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure it's accurate. What I am sure is the
wait. So you think that it's a possibility that 3 billion people die a year of heart disease?
Yes.
Are you aware of how many people are on Earth?
7. Almost 7. It ranges. It varies. There's not an accurate number. But
okay, so you think that half the population of Earth dies every year of heart disease?
Do you understand that half of the people that die this year will die of heart disease?
Nice dodge.
You understand? You understand that there's only 140 million deaths globally each year, roughly.
Half of those What I did, like I said, I don't know if the numbers are a million, billion. I'm not sure. What I don't, what I do know is the numbers for America. I do know that. So if you're not in America, I don't know if you confirm this right off from just hearing it, but 7 billion people from ScienceDirect.com have parasitic worm infestations. So I don't know if you guys use that as a good source. I've been told never been told it's a bad source. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Can you link it?
I
Can
can
you
put
link
it in the
directly?
chat too.
Yeah, yeah.
Which chat did you post it in?
And I brought up that point just because I've seen so many other people in my life too, like family members and just friends and shit, like eat just tons of animal
It's
fat
just a screenshot
with
from
little
the
to no
website.
consequence. They're not like just falling over like, you know. So it's just like really peculiar, you know.
Animal
It's
fat is
almost as
good
if
for you.
it's almost as if like the conditions for death are so complicated and there are so many variables that it's almost like impossible to account for.
So
It's almost like
is your
it's an
source
inevitability.
this snippet of a website's thumbnail that says probably? I'll quote it. It says the world's population numbers are approximately 7 billion, with probably a similar number of human hominids. So your source is probably similar.
He's
Ah,
gone. He's
well,
back. I think he's
you,
got
you can
connection
take over.
problems. No, I'm more than happy to
I feel
listen to everybody
hijacking
else
it.
for a little. No, you carry on by all means. No problem at all.
Cut out. What you guys say? Somewhere.
Okay, so can you direct me to where it says that there is 7 billion people infested with parasite worms?
I put it in the chat.
No, what you
Shouldn't
put in the chat says approximately 7 billion is the world population, with probably a similar number of human helminths. Can't even pronounce it.
Yes, that's just
So
right.
your source is an article that says probably similar.
Mm-hmm. And what I have found when trying to debunk this, and I've had people throw, like, if you go right now and you try to debunk what I'm saying right now, you'll come back with numbers that eventually add up to probably about 7 billion people being infected. You can never know for sure, because these things are parasites. They don't announce themselves. They are very discreet.
Okay, can you link the actual website so I can go through and read it?
so shouldn't
Science
Michaela Peterson be like dead? Isn't she eating like a raw meat only diet? Shouldn't that just be like killing her? Like her heart and everything? She's just a little girl.
Yeah, it should be tearing her up. I'm pretty sure she has parasitic worms. You know, there's no doubt about that. I mean, she eats
Isn't
them,
there?
and then she doesn't cook them. You know anything about the culinary world around in this chat? Is anybody certified?
Personally, I mean I cook a little bit, but I like my stuff sometimes rare on the rare side with like steak and stuff. But certainly I would never eat like raw pork or anything like that. That'd be like no, because like
Yeah, it's
parasitic worms and raw pork is just like egregious, right? So
yeah.
I think if you're eating raw pork, you're like diluted. But if you're eating like raw chicken breast or something like that, and you feel like your body might be able to kick it off, I feel like that's a little bit more reasonable because it's poultry, but it's still pretty questionable because of E. coli and stuff like that. So personally, I wouldn't do it either. I'd cook my chicken all the way through, and I wouldn't leave any pink spots or anything like that. But the only thing I'd leave rare is beef, because just the
Yep,
flavor. You know what I'm saying? That flavor is so
I
excellent.
do. I do. I
It's
used to own a restaurant and a food truck that we serve steak.
so
Flank
yeah,
steak.
man. It's
But
it's the
I didn't know
best.
what it was. I served it. I made money off of it. I didn't know what it was. I did not know it was in that box. That was a product in that box. I turned it into a taco and I fucking sold it to people. That's what we did. And I didn't understand what was in that box. I understand now what's in that box. I don't. when you know what's in that box, what's in the fucking box, you change your attitude, you know, and especially when you understand what's killing us. And then
No, what
especially
you mean is
understand,
you changed your attitude. Okay, that
oh,
applies to
definitely,
you.
definitely,
Fine.
definitely.
Right.
Education will change your attitude as well.
I'm sure it will, definitely. Please educate us,
Definitely.
sir.
Well, okay. 98% of your animal products will be female. Now I'm gonna stop there because a lot of people resist this, and we're gonna go through that.
I can
Does
assure
anybody
you.
doubt this?
Yeah, because you don't know which animal products I eat, right? So you're already generalizing,
yeah.
and that's going to be a huge
Exactly.
problem for you.
It is. I am generalizing because this is 98% of what you want to have in your grocery stores, your restaurants. I'm talking the 2% we're talking about is veal and people that go
No,
hunt.
don't eat veal.
He actually goes hunting. He's like a person.
That's
who
perfect.
gets his own-
That's fine. That's fine.
So he's actually like that exceptional. Like I'm kind of more the hedonistic, like I'll eat anything, but he's sort of the more like he'll hunt for what he wants,
Yeah.
and if he wants to go out and buy something grocery store, I'm pretty sure he eats healthy. Like he'll eat like a healthy dip with his chips or whatever. One of those
And
guys.
never eats out. Never eats at
And
the
he
grocery
never
store.
eats out.
Nope.
He's not one of those guys. So he's actually like a rare exception. He actually is legit on that.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Then then that doesn't apply to the feminization of what I'm talking about. The 98% of the animals being female in the standard industry practice. This is what I'm talking about. Are we going to agree on that, or other than the hunter?
Sure, if you're eating like standard, sure,
Yeah.
then that would probably apply. But
McDonald's,
Yeah, I'll just
Kroger's,
say McDonald's.
No, they're mostly male
Walmart.
because beef cattle
Okay.
are by definition male.
No, that's incorrect. What you're eating
No,
is
it's not. Beef
dairy
cattle.
cows. It is.
No, it's not.
It
It's
is
not.
economically. Listen. Economically, it's
down.
not viable.
Calm down.
I'm not fucking calm as
Calm
shit, dude. You're just
down.
not accurate. And I'm going to educate you.
Okay,
Was that-
you're going to educate me on
educate you.
farming, are you?
And I'm doing it.
You know a lot about
I sure
farming.
am.
Worked on lots of
I
farms, have
know
you?
a ton about farming. Guys.
Of course
I
you
studied it.
do, because you read some vegan
Last
propaganda
15
bullshit on the
years.
internet. Be quiet. Shut
No,
up.
I-
I'm going to finish. You're going to be quiet while I finish my sentence.
Oh, here comes the whiny fucking. You're going to be quiet.
Oh
bullshit.
God, I'm
I
so
was asked-
whiny.
I
I'm
was
really
asked to
scared
ask-
of
I was
you. Oh
asked
my
to
God.
educate. I was asked to educate.
Not
You
with
shut up and you
lies.
educate.
Shut up. You shut
Well,
up.
There's no lies.
Right,
There's
you're
no
going
lies.
to be quiet. I'll unmute you in just a moment. The vast majority of McDonald's Big Macs, the beef that comes there, are from beef cattle, right? Beef cattle are defined as Mr. cows. They're the ones that have winkle pops and ball sacks, okay? They are not the ones with udders. If you want to disprove that, feel free. I will now unmute you.
Well, muting is such a cowardly thing to do. Cowardly.
Yeah, it's also a nice way to bitch out of the conversation when you get BTFO'd on something that you know fuck all about.
It does look like it. Okay, now economically, it is not feasible to raise.
So you're not going to answer my question then?
Oh, so you're just going to interrupt me now?
I am,
You're
yeah.
interrupting
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Pussy.
I am.
Fucking
Definitely.
Pussy.
Fuck you.
Mute me
Fuck-
again, then.
Come on, SD. You can at least let him finish what he's saying.
What's
Yeah,
the point?
shut the fuck
It's
up,
just-
asshole.
Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, I'm so BTFO'd.
You can at least let him make the
Excellent.
economic argument, because like I'm at least interested to hear it, so I can at least get.
Okay, but the initial point
He's
was that
incorrect.
everything you eat is female. Everything you eat is female. Everything you eat is female.
Yeah.
And then SD said everything we
Sure,
eat isn't
but if-
female. Here's the proof. So refute
He's-
it.
Don't let the
he's
guy
wrong.
say what he's going to
I said
say.
98%.
If you don't let the guy say what he's going to
It's
say,
got nothing to do with economics. Either they're
It does.
female or they're not.
It does.
he
though.
can make
You
his
don't understand.
argument though. He can make his argument, and then you can dispute it. Let him make his full point, articulate it, and then we can respond. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll go for a
That's
P
fair
while
play,
he does
guys.
that because I know he's wrong anyway. So.
Sure.
Okay. Excellent. Anyway, so it's not economically feasible or viable to raise a bull to be a 2,000 pound animal so that can be slaughtered one time. To make that animal that big,
Yes, it is.
is so expensive, okay?
No, it's not.
Well, wait.
It's
You get
not.
subsidies.
Oh
You
my
get
goodness.
subsidies.
Another
Wait.
vegan farming expert.
Wait. There's already a problem with
Icon,
this.
please don't
You get
stop.
subsidies. You
So,
get subsidies
Jason,
though. Even
Yeah,
vegans know
exactly.
this.
no, we all
This
don't
is a
get
vegan
subsidies.
talking point.
Can you? I understand, but we all don't get subsidies. So first of all, hi Jason. I am
Hello.
an actual professional agriculturalist and farmer. I've
Awesome.
raised rabbits, goats.
I don't want to hear
I've
about your
worked
slave
with
list.
that's okay, but I'm just explaining to you my
That's
background
fine.
That's fine. In this industry. So
You just
please,
said it in
can you please not be
agricultural
interruptive?
thing.
I understand, but I'm just telling you my background so that you can understand where I'm coming from here. I've worked
Okay.
with cattle. I've worked with both dairy and beef cattle. I've worked with goats, both milking goats and meat goats, and I've worked with rabbits, chickens, ducks, and no, rabbits, chickens, ducks, and horses. So first of all, it's actually very majority of people who are raising beef cattle. Number one, they're coming at least in the United States. I don't know where you're from, but are you from the United States?
Yes.
Okay, so majority of cattle and farms in general in the United States are family-owned farms, and beef cattle are first of all raised on grass, not just at feedlots. They are born and raised on
Mm.
grass by very simple people, like
Mm.
just people who own their own little plots of land. Maybe they have like 10, 20 acres and they own that. And all of the male animals and some of the female animals go off to auction after they're raised on grass accompanied with
Ugh.
hay. Hold on.
I can't stand it
After
no more. You
I
talking about
understand,
slaves
but
and
I'm
it makes me
can
want
you
to throw up a little bit.
do
I
you
don't
want to
care.
do
Make
you
your
need
point. Make your
your
point. I don't care about your
I
background.
am
Make your point.
I'm
Okay, now
literally
you're being
making
kind
the
of a
point.
cunt, bud.
Thank you.
Now
I'm
Yeah,
you're
making
being
the
kind of a
point
no, you're
right
cunt,
just
bud.
now.
talking about slaves like you're
So I'm making the point right now for you so that you can understand and not like just make wild claims, right? Because I actually work in it.
wild ass claims.
So
It's
so
insane that
can
you
you
think these
can
people
you please stop talking
don't
for
have
2
factory
seconds,
farms.
please? Okay,
No,
I'm
it's
not
cool for
saying
everybody else to interrupt me, so I can do
I'm
it too. I don't
literally about
understand the
I'm
rules
literally
here.
about to explain to you. Hold on, I'm literally about to explain to you like
Okay.
when the factory farm component comes in. So let me finish,
That's
please.
excellent.
So
Please.
so it starts off, right? It starts off with families who own cattle. Those cattle
Oh.
start off on grass, they're born on grass. When they reach about something like 600 to I would say about 600, 700 pounds, they go off onto auction. And a lot of those auctions, they either end up on, they're either bought by people who are running grass fed farms, or they're doing industry practice, which is like feedlots. So that's what we define as like factory farm feedlot kind of stuff. So that's what actually happens now. It's actually extremely economic for people to do this because what those cows are raised on is mostly grass and then hay. Hay and grass mostly raised by a neighbor or by on your own land. So and not only that, but the return for that is like thousands of dollars for a lot of people. So cows essentially pay for themselves, especially when they're on grass, and that's why people raise cattle, and they raise bulls. They're mostly bulls who go to auction for meat, not females.
Yeah, sure. Now, go back to the 98% of standard industry practice.
Yes,
You're talking
that's
about like the 2% of the fairy tale world,
no,
which
no, no,
is
no,
it's accurate, but you're like misconstruing the numbers.
no.
It's
Those
not.
cattle,
There's
even
yeah.
if they go to industry, like say they
Yes.
go to the feedlot, they
Okay,
start
so
it
it's your
off
turn
on
again. I just
grass.
say one little thing and you get the fucking blabber on again.
No, it's just that you misunderstood something. Even if
No,
they go
you.
to the
It seems
feedlot,
like you're missing understanding something, so you can
I'm
justify what you're
literally
doing.
helping you. Even if they go to feedlot, which is the
I know
industrial
you are.
agriculture, that's the factory farming, right? Feedlot is the factory farming. That's where
Yeah.
that's where hundreds of cattle go in one little tiny place. So even if they go to
Yes.
feedlot,
The
they all
poor
started
farm
on
families have
grass.
slaves, and then they sell it to the factory farm slave. Yes,
I'm
that is
not
a
gonna
fact.
dignify I'm not gonna dignify the slave part, but even
Why
if they go
not?
to feedlot,
Do you think
even if
they want to be there doing that for you?
what going like being
Oh
born
my
on
god.
grass, like being
No,
born
Hey,
on
yeah.
grass.
Like,
maybe
do you
because
think they
you're
want to
saying
be
that to an
fenced in and
African
fucking have their
American woman.
children taken from them?
So
Okay, maybe because
exploit
that's
it for their
you're
milk.
saying that to an African American woman.
Firstly, that
Exactly. Yeah, that's
ignore
the
that. That
worst. That's
doesn't
the last
matter.
person that should be involved in this.
That's so unnecessary. But anyway,
I
It's
told you
not. It
how it
really
was
is.
going to go,
It
didn't I?
super is. You're absolutely right. It super is unnecessary.
it's very
How can you call
unnecessary for you
everyone a
to say
femboy
that.
when you act like this?
So it's very unnecessary for you to put my skin color in this. My skin color
I
does not matter in
didn't.
this
I didn't. He
conversation.
did. He
So
did.
to be
Dude,
I
clear,
didn't.
you'd be calling
I
it a
didn't.
Holocaust. You'd be calling it the Holocaust
so
and shit
hold
like
on,
that.
I
just side
literally
comment.
have
If
Hold
it
never
on,
said
was
the word
even if it was a
Holocaust.
Jew. Don't act
I
like you
really
don't
want to
literally
act like
stick
said
you
to
wouldn't
never.
be doing that
facts, and I
shit.
don't
You're
want
a
to
Never
stick
said that
to
sensationalist.
word.
the
I never said
nonsense.
those words. I
You're a
never said the word
sensationalist though. You're
Holocaust.
tailoring your language to the person that you're speaking
No, it
to,
is. I'm
and then
just
you're being a
telling you
little
what
pussy
you're
bitch
doing.
when I call you out on the implications.
Okay.
I'm just
Anyway,
explaining what you're doing,
Whatever.
man.
can you two
Get mad
stop? So
about it.
let's stick to the facts on this right now. So
Let's
what we're
do that.
talking about, if you want to talk about cattle behavior, we can do that later. But right now, let's talk about the process, right? Which is the problem for you. It's the process. So
No, no, it
majority of these
isn't. It's
cattle
the result of eating is the problem.
due to the process, right? So
Everything,
because like if
everything is the
someone
problem. But
okay, so like Jason, because this is different. Like if someone found a cow um
mhm.
in the road and the cow was already dead and so they decide to take the cow home and eat it, that's totally different from them actually killing the cow, right?
Yeah, they should just take the cow and bury it like a normal fucking human being. Why you gotta
We'll
take
just say, but you
roadkill home and
acknowledge
eat
that
it?
there's a
It's
huge
weird.
difference. But you
It's
acknowledge that there's
fucking
a
weird,
huge
man.
difference. Well, you can say it's weird, but you acknowledge that there's a huge difference from finding an animal on the road
No,
and eating
leave
it
it
compared to
alone.
actually killing it.
Leave it alone. Ants, that's ants' food. That is the vulture's food now. That is the coyote's food now. That is not your food. It's
But
worm
not
food
our
now.
food.
So anyway, hold on. So let's go back to
Anyway, leave
where
it
the
alone.
cattle.
Mind your business. That's all you gotta
Let's
do.
go back. Well,
Oh
I'm
my
not
god.
sure I can like logically go through that with you. I don't
How
think that
you
you're ready
would
for that yet.
you just
So
fucking logically say we should eat roadkill?
I didn't. I
What
said
the
that
fuck
it
It
would
was
be
a
different.
logically?
hypothetical.
It was
What are you tracking at
hypothetical,
all?
but at the end of the
I said
day,
that
it
it
was
would be
somebody eating a
different.
dead animal off the side of the road, wasn't it? Or no?
That's yeah, sure. Like sometimes people
Yeah,
eat
sure.
dead things. It
That's
happens
not
all the
wild as
time.
fuck.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't think it's wild. But anyway,
Oh
so
well,
so
I'll be
let's
together
go back to
strong.
the cattle. Let's go back to the cattle thing. Is that so? The cattle start
Sure.
off, sure, right? They start off on grass, which is like so people like say like your neighbor. I don't know who your neighbor is, but say like your neighbor, like a regular person like your neighbor could have 10 acres. He has cattle and he can send those cattle off to auction where the auctioneers sell it off, and whoever buys that cow, sometimes whether it be a business or someone who runs a feedlot, could then
Why are
feed
you
that cow
explaining
until
this
it goes through
again?
process. So well, I'm
You're going over
explaining
the
it because I
same
think
thing
you're a little
again.
misunderstood. Well, you're a little misunderstood about what I
I don't
said.
understand
You
exactly. I
said
hadn't
that this
agreed with you. I said that's
yeah, but you
true.
said that that was 2%, but it's not. That's
Yeah,
actually a
it
majority because
is.
they go off
All
the majority is when they go off to feedlot. Not
right.
that's what
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
Okay,
So
cool.
when you get a female cow, that becomes a dairy cow, and from
No,
the day she is born, she is fed and injected hormones that make her
no,
menstruate earlier. Why you keep
no,
saying fucking no and interrupting
because
me, clown?
that's not
Be
correct.
quiet. Be quiet.
Because it's not correct.
Oh my god.
We don't
Ah,
inject.
bro, are you serious? You can just sit there and you don't. The industry standard practice. Do you not understand the difference between your slaves and the industry standards slaves? You understand the difference?
Industry standard, we don't. So beef cows
So
and dairy
you're part of
cows,
the industry. You're industry now, or I thought you
I
were a
work
small family.
I work in it.
Two things. You said you were a small family farm.
Yeah, I've ran a small family
Those
farm before.
people sell their little extra babies to the fucking animal industry
No,
with a big
so
giant fucking lots. Yeah.
no,
What do you think those oxen goes to? You fucking fairy tale
can you
land or
hold
something?
on?
I
So
mean,
hold on.
Ah,
I've I currently like
no,
I can you stop?
no.
Can you stop?
You were doing the same thing to me. You did the same fucking thing to me 2 seconds ago. You just said no, no.
Yes,
Did you or
because you
did
said
you not?
something wrong. Because you said
Okay, so
something
you're saying
inaccurate.
something
but
wrong and
don't.
inaccurate. So I can say the
Actually,
same thing. I literally
Jason,
have studies to back what I'm saying.
do you
Jason,
think
at the
so
moment,
I
you're doing more interrupting than she is. Okay.
it doesn't matter
yeah,
though. He was saying something,
so
to be
Jason,
fair. He gave her time to
Jason.
talk.
Yeah, see?
Let him speak.
Okay, what? Okay, go for it, please. Speak your
Non-shade,
fucking
like
mind.
you literally came in here. So it's just that you said some really blatantly inaccurate things that definitely have
So
to
did
be corrected.
you. So did you, and it
Let him
definitely needs to
finish
be
what he's saying.
corrected.
Well,
Hang,
Jason,
he
you
interrupted
apparently think
her.
that all we
What are you
do.
talking about?
Go for it. No, she just keeps talking about how I'm wrong and not where I'm wrong. So talk
Yeah,
about where I'm
I'm
wrong.
literally about to tell you.
You're literally
So,
just keep blobbering on. Just say the.
so you said when a female cow is born, they become a dairy cow. That's not true. Beef cattle
Dude.
stay beef cattle. No, beef cattle stay beef cattle. We have two different classes of cattle. We
My
have dairy
goodness.
cattle and then we have beef cattle. Beef cattle can
No,
be
they're the
female or
same
male.
thing.
No, they're not.
That's where you're misunderstanding. When a dairy cow stops being a dairy cow because she's ran out, she turns into a beef cow. 98% of your beef will come from a dairy cow.
No, that's not true either.
Oh my God! I guess because you say so, right?
No, it's because I work in it and I know it.
Not all the yeah, because you fucking in
wait.
the slave industry.
Yeah, so
you're
are
okay
you
with
using
it.
personal testimony as your like argument here? Because he can bring up empirics.
No, that's
All
not
day.
personal testimony. That's the actual
Yeah,
truth.
just saying I work in it, so I know is pretty personal testimony. So I mean, do you have any empirics to back up anything you're saying?
Sure. Why haven't you asked him for empirics though?
Oh no, I'm about to. I'm
I'm
about
just
to.
curious.
I'm not taking sides, but I'm
Okay,
about to,
good.
Jason. So
So
you
I would
mentioned
be
yeah, no,
happy to
definitely.
do so, but I'm literally telling him how we understand classes of cattle. I'll be right back. I gotta open the door.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Jason, I don't particularly understand your argument 100%. Do you want to lay it out?
Yeah, but that's what I asked. The same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, where to start?
Like, that's why I didn't ask for empirics for him because I just don't understand what he's trying to say.
Well, everything I'm going to say, you're going to click because it's common sense. Let's not get a second. When a cow has a baby, it's either a male or female. If it's a male, it goes for veal or breeding. That's the two lives the male has.
But you're already incorrect.
Yo, let him talk, bro.
Okay, please, bro.
What's the point in letting him continue down a road when he's already incorrect out of the gate?
To hear what I got to say. If anybody wants to hear what I got to say.
Because you're wrong. No, I'm not interested in listening to you lying.
So you can bugger the fuck off then, can't you?
Oh, can I?
Dude, do
Look,
you just
yeah.
is this how you win debates and bring people to your side?
He is
You
factual.
just not let him talk?
My side?
It varies state by
Yeah,
state.
You don't know what my
your
side is,
disagree.
dumbass.
It doesn't
Which
matter.
percentage
But I
of
mean, you
dairy
still need
cows
to
get
let him
eaten?
talk. Like we let Patty talk, it's time to let him talk. Like come
No,
on.
he interrupted her, and this is being recorded, so the recording will show that he interrupted her far more than she interrupted him.
That's cool, but she's not even talking right now. Can we just let
I'll
him say what
upload
he
it
has
once
to
it's
say?
finished.
Good.
Yes,
good.
it is
This is
good.
ridiculous. It's absolutely
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Because you're wrong, dude.
Oh my
God.
You've
Can you
been
mute
wrong.
yourself or something?
No, what I can do is mute you and this other douchebag. Right?
He can't even get in words.
Fine, carry on. Tell us lies. Let's start off with something that's inaccurate. We won't interrupt you. We'll let you continue down the road of inaccuracy. How does that sound?
Yeah, if he says something wrong, write it down, and then we can attack his points later. Because I don't think I personally agree with him.
Yeah, I agree with that position.
I don't really think I agree with him either. But I mean, I have to at least hear what he has to say. You know. So go ahead, Jason.
Can you bring my sweater, please?
Okay. Animal has baby. Baby's male or female. Okay, forget the deal. When it's a female, what are you going to do with a female that can produce other cows? Are you just not going to breed it? That's a common sense question for the room.
Okay, so assuming this is true, where do we go from there?
Well, I can answer that question.
Hold on.
Let me answer your question,
okay.
Jason. So, so first of all, like I said before, there are two different classifications of cows in which we have two different uses of cows. So one of them is dairy cattle and the other is beef cattle. Dairy cattle can be both male and female, and obviously beef cattle can be both male and female. Dairy cattle what people are doing nowadays in terms of like gender dairy cattle is we're working with sex selection sperm, which means that when a cow is inseminated, we can now choose between whether we want female cows or male cows. And great deal of dairy industries are picking this up nowadays because when male cows are born, we can do a couple different things. So some dairy cattle facilities have their own operation in which they raise their male cows for veal. Sometimes they raise their male cows depending on their genetics, like how good their conformation is, their genetics, the line that they came from, and save them as breeding bulls where they may save their sperm or they may use them for other breeding projects. It's the same thing that they do with beef cows, except for beef cows. Now females can go into, obviously males and females can go into beef where they become beef. But a lot of times, people sell off their females, their older females. It just depends on like how well they think of their female or male cows. They might send them off. They may become a herd bull. They may become a heifer for another family or whatever. So when you do have a female cow that you don't intend to use for milk, you don't intend to use for breeding, you don't intend to use for meat, they just sell them to families where families will raise them and create their own herds with them, or they may raise them for their own personal food, things like that. That's typically what happens.
So, what would be a reason as to why I would buy a cow if they can't breed, if I'm not using them for meat? And that
A
last one,
pet.
what was
You
your
would
last? That
essentially have a pet.
oh, a pet. Okay, all right.
They would be classed as livestock under the law, but they would be
Mhm.
essentially a pet, like a lawn ornament, basically.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's like kind of having a dog.
Yeah, kind of like having a dog.
Okay. So
I'm just flabbergasted. I
There
don't
was
even.
where's
another
the
claim. There was
irrationality
another
in?
claim made though about injecting cows with hormone.
Yeah.
Um, we don't inject cows with growth hormones. We don't inject chickens with growth hormones. In fact, that's illegal.
Hmm.
It's illegal to
It's
inject
not
cow.
legal
Yes, it
anywhere.
is. It's illegal
Sorry,
to inject
no.
chickens. Can you please? It's illegal to.
It's not
Hold
I
on,
was
Jason.
quiet.
documentation.
Jason.
I was quiet, and I
Documentation.
let you
Jason,
Dude,
wait.
you
speak.
ran your mouth for like
I,
Jason,
I
20
was
wait.
minutes straight just
I was
now.
Jason,
quiet,
wait.
and I let you speak.
All right.
So
She's still getting out her premises, man.
so
Give me
we
a sharp.
we don't give, we give antibiotics to sick animals, but even then an animal has, the antibiotic has to run its course through the
Hmm.
body, has to be completely out of the body before it even hits the shelf where you buy it. So no, we
Hmm.
don't give chickens and cows like massive growth hormones or anything like that. They do receive like antibiotics, vitamins, supplements, things like that.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about industry standards, so that we're clear that I'm not talking about your personal.
Those are industry standards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
looking it
what
up
if
right
what if
now.
it's
It does
something?
seem to check out.
Yeah, yeah, that would be an
Definitely
industry
not
standard. I
insurance.
mean, they have to industries have to follow the law. So I mean, that's a
There
standard.
is absolutely no law saying that you can't give them growth hormones.
Patty, can you provide a law?
Yeah, it's a
Matter of fact,
regulation under it's
chickens
the regulate.
themselves are supposed to
Wait,
have about 12.
she's
Oh
talking, my
my
boy.
god.
My boy,
No,
you
you're
made
supposed to put
hold on,
that in the
Jason,
links.
you made a claim that there is no law. She's trying to provide a law. Give her a
All
moment.
right.
There, yes, so it's under it's regulated by the FDA, and so
Mm.
just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna pull it up and put
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in BC links. That's what I'm gonna do.
Take your time.
Excellent. Excellent. When a chicken is naturally in its natural environment, it's supposed to have about 12 to 13 eggs a year.
Mhm.
Every egg that you eat is one of 300 that one chicken lays every year. 300 eggs compared to 12, 13 eggs.
What?
Those are hormones.
Yeah,
English?
Genetic
I can
selecting.
explain
Genetic
this too.
selecting.
I can explain this
Not
too.
genetically.
So
For 300,
it is
they're
incorrect.
fucking
Wait,
hormonal.
he wasn't I don't think he
Oh,
was
he
finished.
wasn't done. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
no.
That's fine.
It's just
Were you done,
hormonal.
Jason?
No, chickens get the hormones. That's why they go from an egg to being able to produce eggs in 6 months is hormones.
Okay,
Growth
so
hormones.
this is incorrect.
Yeah,
Once
fuck what I
again,
said.
it is
Do you think
illegal.
chickens? Excuse me. You think chickens go from hatch to laying 300 eggs in 6 months?
Mhm. Hold on, Patty. I got it.
It's about 6 or 7.
Natural.
So
Yeah.
yes,
Wow,
natural.
that's
Are
insane.
you just gonna refute, or are
Okay.
you just gonna gaslight? Because this is getting really boring.
No, I'm
Jason.
just fucking. This is super
The
See,
interesting.
now,
reason
hold
why
on.
this
I
is
don't mean to
just
interrupt you.
just
How does
hold
that
on. The
happen?
reason why this is inaccurate is because number one, once again, it is illegal to give growth hormones to chickens. And what actually has happened over the years is that the domestic chicken today, what he's referring to, is called the jungle fowl. Those are jungle fowl that originated from Asia, which chickens themselves originate from Asia, and they came from the line of the jungle fowl. Jungle fowls lay a clutch. They incubate that clutch at least once or twice a year, and then they raise them, and those are wild chickens. Those are wild animals. Domestic chickens, on the other hand, are domesticated. They are bred from down the line of jungle fowl. With specific traits. So these specific traits, and this is over hundreds of years of breeding. This isn't just from one day to the so over hundreds of years of breeding, we've identified certain traits that we like and don't like, and this is why we have different breeds of chickens. So for example, silkies do not lay at the same rate that white leghorns do. White leghorns are the chickens that lay the pretty white eggs that you get at the store. White leghorns lay almost 365 days a year. Silkies lay something like 100 to like 250 days a year. And they also get extremely broody. White leghorns almost never get broody. So these different breeds that we've bred over the years lay different amount of eggs, just like because of selective breeding. No different from how like some dogs are herders, other dogs are guard dogs, and other dogs are livestock guardians. So that's why it has nothing to do with growth hormones. It's nothing to do with antibiotics. It just has to do with domestic breeding.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is interesting. It's not what I heard.
No, but Jason, I mean, do you understand her point, like as to like what she means by it can't be growth hormones? It's just domestication. And
These
if you
chickens,
disagree with her
the type of
point, I mean,
chickens
you'd have to
that
hold on 1
they
second.
are
You'd have to
using.
provide
Yeah,
how biologically growth hormones can do that as well.
that's what they do. That's holy.
Basically, just drop a
That's what
source,
they
bro.
do. It's just,
Yeah, just drop a couple studies
let's see.
or
You can take your time, you know. You don't have to
Yeah,
rush into it.
It's
Let's
easy.
get a
It's
very
easy. He watched the
specific
Minion
one.
about 5 times, and then he's educated.
Oh, I've watched a bunch of shit. How many
It's
times have
oh
you watched
god,
it?
fuck Dominion. By the way,
How many times have you watched it?
I watched it once. Like it was literally
Okay.
like
Is all I need.
terrible,
Okay.
terrible. I
Yeah,
hated
okay.
it.
Jason,
Yeah, so tell me about it. I've never
think
watched it.
okay, so
I've never
So
watched it.
basically,
Tell me
okay,
about
here's
back
my
and
experience
forth
watching Dominion.
about-
You ever seen like those infomercials about like hungry children in Africa where it's like sad music and a monotone commentator? Dominion is that, but for animals, and also 2 hours. That I fucking hated Dominion. Like Seaspiracy was much
Yeah,
better
you
in my
hate
opinion.
yourself.
What?
You hate
Well,
yourself
no,
for that. It's just pulling at your heartstrings. You hate, that's
no. Believe me, it didn't.
that's
It
why I
was just more
stopped it.
annoying.
It makes me don't
It's
be
a
a hypocrite.
2-hour appeal to emotion with very little facts in
It
it.
is, and you should have some kind of emotion. You should, bro. The lack of emotion is a problem.
But I mean, the point is appeal to emotion is sort of bad. Like, so even if you assume that everything in that picture was right, like let's assume that the sad music in the background and monotone thing was definitely trying to go for appeal to emotion. There was not really any
Yeah.
appeal to emotions. It was
Hell yeah,
definitely
good. You got facts and emotion. Both the things are correct.
Anyway,
What the
let's,
fuck?
let's,
But I
let's
mean,
go
we've
back.
clearly from this discussion realized that you don't have any actual facts. You just kind of have
Me?
like
No,
a
I
bunch
work
of
with common sense.
misunderstood science.
No, I work with common sense and economics.
Okay, can you
Okay,
show
what does
us
that
any
tell
of
you about hormones and biology
What does
and
it tell
natural
you?
selection?
It tells me that if I have an animal that produces more animals and I can ingest it with hormones and make that animal produce more animals quicker, what the fuck am I going to do here, guy? I'm a business owner. Are you a business owner? Do you understand how business works?
No.
It's very simple. It's very simple. You want the most
I
product
don't
you
need
can
to
possibly
understand
get.
how business works to understand how
Yeah, you
natural
do.
selection
It's a
works.
business. No, actually, you do. Because this is a
I
business.
think
Can you prove it?
Richard Dawkins would disagree with you.
It's not a business.
Charles Darwin would probably disagree with you, and every other biology student would disagree with you as well.
About what?
Okay,
About
so,
what?
so what you
About
what
what?
you did is you
About
came in
Hold
here
on.
and you
Just
said,
and
unless
statistics
you
to
agree with
understand
me.
biology.
Hold on.
It's irrelevant.
What
Females
you've done
produce
is
the
you've come
babies.
in and you've said, if you don't agree with me, you're stupid. and you haven't actually
No,
provided
no, no,
them.
no.
You
I've
just
never
said this
said
is
that.
common.
No,
This
I
is
never
common sense.
said
You said
that.
it's
I've
common
never
sense.
even
It's
said
common sense,
stupid.
but nobody
Yeah,
else
it is.
agrees with you. If it's common sense and nobody else
Well,
has it, then
you're
you're calling
trying
everyone else
very hard
stupid.
not
We
to
don't have
agree with
common
me.
sense. If you can't prove it, don't fucking state it. It's
I
simple as
can't
that.
prove it. It's called common sense. You're fighting common sense. You're in denialism.
It's common sense that the Earth is flat. You're just stupid if you
It's
don't
common
believe it.
sense that the female produces more animals, right?
It's common sense. No. It's common sense that I don't I'm not affected by gravity. It's just common sense, dude.
Oh, you want to bring that
Well,
into it?
I mean, no, we're not gonna do flat
Throw
Earth.
you in
We're
every
talking
fucking subject,
we're talking
bro.
about like veganism.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Keep
but
it,
I mean,
stay in
No,
your
he
fucking
can't.
lane.
like,
It's
I'm
not,
just
So
not
no,
a
but
good idea.
I'm
so
just
listen,
providing an
listen.
example. I mean, we can debate
It's
flat on
fine.
another server.
I can
Let's
do,
do
yeah, I
that
can
later.
fucking.
I,
Yeah,
I,
another
I
server.
agree with.
Switch it, bro.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Nanshi or Nanch?
Nanshi?
Yeah, it's
I don't.
Nanchi. That's perfect.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. You provided a good analogy there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just real
Both
quick,
you don't know what the
Jason.
fuck you're talking about, and
So
just listening to your heart because you like bacon so much.
How do
What
you?
kind
How
of
do you?
argument is
hold
that?
on,
Just
hold on.
listen to your heart.
So
What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the beginning. This is an appeal to emotion, right? Because like even
Yeah.
assuming
No,
you're
it's
correct, you're
appeal to
not
You
actually
were,
common
you're
sense.
arguing.
One
listen,
moment. Can we?
you were calling me a
It's called
feminist.
common sense.
Patty's been trying to say something.
Out of here.
I was just gonna say. So listen, Jason. Are there any other confusions or things that you had about the agriculture
I'm
industry
so
this year?
confused that how
Well,
No,
no,
you
clearly.
believe that your little
I
farm
was.
is 98% of the industry
I,
standard. That's what I'm wondering.
So I don't work for a little farm. I work for a 160-acre farm that operates with livestock such as sheep and crops. So
That's a little farm.
that's who I work.
That's a little
It's not,
farm.
160
It's a little farm.
acres is not.
How many
small.
animals are killed? How many animals are killed each year in the
at
industry?
that farm? At the industry?
No, in the industry. In the
There's-
industry, up together,
I would say
collectively.
I would say
Millions.
probably millions, maybe billions.
Probably hundreds of millions.
Millions,
Yeah.
maybe billions. You literally don't even know how many fucking animals are
We don't.
killed,
Nobody
and you're trying
does.
to leap.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah,
Do
I
you?
do. It's
Do you?
billions. It is billions. Yes,
I
it is
said
billions.
millions,
Like
maybe
60
billions.
billion. You said billions, maybe millions. That's pretty fucking general, as if you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Okay, but
You
this
did.
is
thousands,
how did
maybe
how did
Here's
the
the
billions.
problem.
United
Here's the
States?
problem.
Oh
Here's
my
the problem.
goodness.
Here's the problem. Here's the
1.3
problem. Here's the
billion
problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Your moral
Go for
outrage just makes me want to eat meat all the more. That's the
I
problem.
know.
Like I just want
I
a
know.
juicy burger in my mouth right now. Like
Jason,
every little like
That's all right.
the panic, the
I know. That's called
Yeah,
initial
yeah.
shock. That's
I'm
called
ordering.
initial shock.
I'm
the thing
ordering.
is,
I'm ordering
Jason,
Popeyes
I
as we
really
speak,
do. I
Jason.
really do want to discuss
Oh
this
yeah,
with
go
you
for it.
because I think it's really important and incumbent for vegans or vegetarians who have really strong feelings about agriculture. They should meet someone who
should.
knows.
Agriculture is not what you're
Yeah.
doing. Agriculture is not what
This-
you're
How-
doing.
It
Slavery.
Listen, it is agriculture, and you need to
It's
understand what
slave.
agricultural is.
Black slaves were part of
So-
agriculture at one time.
We still
You
are
understand,
Oh
part
my
of
God.
agriculture.
No, they were
let's be
machines
clear.
there to
Let's
pick
be clear about
cotton.
Hold on,
something. Let's be
Jason.
clear.
You're cutting.
Let's
out,
be clear about
Jason.
something. Let's be very clear about something. I understand if you think that it's cute or cool to use my ancestors as like funny little pawns in your vegan
I think it's
game, but
stupid for you to
let
keep
me make
doing it.
something very clear to you. Let me make something very, very clear to you. We are still a part of agriculture, and we will never, ever, ever be ashamed for.
Yeah, you're a slave owner now.
We will never, ever, ever be
Wow.
ashamed for helping feed.
Black slaver.
All right, you are going to be muted right now. We will never, ever, ever be ashamed for feeding the rest of this country. And even if we were enslaved, we are part of the reason that the United States is as great as it is today. So I will not be made to feel ashamed simply because you don't understand my profession. And I am totally and openly wanting to talk to you about my profession so that it helps you understand it. You're coming at this extremely with a lot of emotion. And maybe that's because you were told some things that were possibly not true. But if you actually want to understand agriculture, you should be talking to someone like me in a respectful manner, someone who actually works in it and dedicates her life to this.
Yeah, but wait, can I do the steelman in your position?
Talk
Because you can
your
do like a standard utilitarian argument. You can say like we should maximize pleasure and minimize suffering. The animal agriculture industry does suffering of animals, therefore, like that's what we can do a standard utilitarian, right? At least that would be like a more consistent steelman of the position. Then we can start from there, at least.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not doing that. That's the point, though.
That's so easy. That's like the easiest vegan
Oh
argument.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is really sad because Jason was like, you spent like 20 minutes calling me a femboy, and you've only come in here with nothing, and you said, "Listen to your heart, listen to your heart, people." But how the fuck are you calling me a femboy, you dickhead?
Can I
Patty,
like
I have a couple questions. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zoom.
Yeah.
just asking, like, what's going on? Like, I just
Poor Zoom.
Like
He
irrationality.
left, bro. Fuck.
Irrationality speaks is what's happening.
He's got. I think it's just his internet. It makes him like clock
No,
out.
it is the oversaturation of autism in our fucking communities.
All right. That wasn't funny.
This is insane. This guy is a complete and utter brainlet. Who
The fuck
you
you
came in
saying?
here and
Told you how it would turn out,
angry,
didn't I?
just angry at everyone, calling everyone femboys. You came in here with nothing, literally
Femboy, bro.
nothing,
You are
not
femboy. Look how
even a
emotional
decent
you are.
argument. Listen to your heart. That's all you have to listen to. Listen to your heart.
Okay.
Yeah,
Patty,
you eat bacon.
all right,
That's
all
what
right,
your
all
heart
right,
tells
all
you
right.
because you're a fat pig.
Are we done with the ad homs? Can I ask my question, please?
Nah, fuck that. He started with the add-ons.
Oh,
He came in here. He
shit.
thought that
Hold on, wait,
3.3.
Eden,
He
Eden,
thought that
Nan-
3.3
Nanshe-
billion
Nanshe
people
wants to ask
died.
me. Hold on, Eden. Nanshe wants to ask me a
I said
question. He's not
maybe.
gonna ask Jason.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm not too well versed on the like vegan or versus meat eater debates and things like that. Me personally, I tend to lower my meat consumption for a couple of reasons, right? I know that I think a third of our food goes to livestock, and
Wrong.
and
90.
yeah, I know, but I mean, we can tell me why I'm wrong when I finish speaking. Thank you. A third of our
Hey,
of our,
look,
of
you,
our
you,
food
you
goes to
just sort of
livestock now.
self-appointed yourself as moderator for this discussion. I don't know who the fuck you are or where you came from.
Oh God! So now
Better
your
than
ego's
you.
hurt.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now your ego's hurt. All right. I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
asking my question.
it's really hurt.
I think
Hold
you're a
on,
great
hold on.
meat
I'm
eater.
probably gonna throw
Let's
myself
keep-
out the window now. Yeah, it's
Let's
that
Okay.
hurt.
all chill. Let's
You're
all chill.
you're
I want to
projecting.
hear the question.
Yeah. My thing is like, and I heard that it's sort of like that this business, like the agricultural business, specifically the meat industry, it oh my God, I'm so sorry, my mind went blank. But it has something to do with
Well-
climate change as well. Like it promotes like climate change, and it makes the
Let's
climate
talk
worse.
about.
Yeah.
Let's go over the issue of
Yeah.
feed and food and how much food goes to livestock. Let's do that one first because
Yeah,
that's an easy one to go over.
Okay, cool.
So 1 second, I'm just putting these boxes in
I
the
hope you know.
house.
Yeah. I'm not actually like trying to debate you or anything. I genuinely want to understand.
Target.
Yeah. Okay.
Anywhere from 80 to 90% of
Alright.
crops grown go to feed animal products.
Yeah.
Well, so this is hold on. So this is kind of misinformation by it. What it does is
Always.
it omits. Well, what it is, it omits some very important context and factors for this. So the main thing is this: is that when we think of crops, right? What do you typically think of are the things that people eat?
Vegetables, fruits.
Like what? Like name a couple.
So I mean, here in America,
I'm eating
I would say
watermelon right
that
now.
a good portion of our we eat a lot of corn, we eat a lot of beans, we eat a lot of soy, we eat a lot of
Legumes,
apples, fruits. Yeah.
So
things
and
like
out
that.
of all those
Seeds.
things that
Seeds,
out
a
of
lot of
those things
seeds.
that you just described to me,
Tomato.
that's a lot of things that you described to me.
Sure.
Do you think that farmers are like planting hundreds of acres of things like cabbage and lettuce and then throwing it to their cows?
I would have that assumption. Yeah, not
Well,
necessarily
that's-
throwing it to the cows. I would say that they're making things from that and then making food from the things that they
Yeah.
grow and then giving
Well,
it to
that's
but that
not
would
what
still be
that's
the
not what we're
same.
doing. So
They sell
Okay.
the surplus
Should we
to the feed stores.
Jason,
They
Jason,
sell this.
hold on, Jason, please.
So-
I'm like
so-
actually
so-
trying to understand, and she seems to
so-
know what
Yes.
she's talking about.
So
I don't.
what is done is that main thing when we talk about like what humans eat, the main thing that goes into animal feed composition would be corn and soy byproduct. So not the soy part. So there are parts like what we don't eat, livestock eats. So corn, for example, like, yeah, cows can eat sweet corn, but we actually have a ton of different varieties of corn. Like, have you ever heard of black gem corn?
Yeah.
Yeah, or rainbow gem corn. So
Yeah.
so those are varieties of corn that we've developed over the years, whether it be by natives or regular people, whatever. Not
Yeah.
not that natives aren't
GMO.
regular
Yeah.
people,
No.
but
My
like,
family eats
so
different types of corn. Yeah, as we're very
exactly.
Spanish family. Yeah.
Exactly. And what cows eat, while they can eat sweet corn, what they tend to eat is something called field corn. So
Hmm.
for the land that we're not using for human consumption,
Hmm.
we grow things like field corn for cows. And so that's
Hmm.
generally when we talk about crops that we eat. So when someone says, well, we grow majority of our crops for cows, well, they're leaving
Hmm.
out some important context, such as, well, majority of those crops are actually just field corn. We're giving to the cows, we're giving to the chickens, we're giving to the pigs, but that doesn't mean that anybody's going hungry, and that doesn't mean that we have some sort of shortage of food. In fact, we have an oversupply of food, especially within the United States. We throw away tons of food every year.
Hmm.
So what's actually going on is what farmers are doing. And so let's go to soy. Soy is next.
Okay.
Soy is a very interesting plant where
Hmm.
humans can't eat all of it. We not only can eat all of the soy that we ever make, but we can't eat the entire plant at all. Some of the plant's completely inedible.
Hmm.
So what happens is that once we're done pressing soy for oil, and same thing with corn, we press corn for oil too. Once we're done
Hmm.
pressing those things for oil, once we're done using those things for tofu or for other corn products, we take
Yeah.
the rest, called a byproduct or meal, and we give it to
Hmm.
we put it into feed composition and give it to animals. So majority of what you're going to find in feed composition for pigs and cows is going to be things like what we call meal, hash. We also call it
Hmm.
meal, hash, and crude. We also call some of it crude, so we may call it crude protein, stuff like that. The rest of it
Sure.
will be forage, hay, and then corn. So that's
Hmm.
what we have a part of animal feed composition. And so just
Hmm.
hearing somebody say, well, majority of our crops are fed to the livestock, it just leaves out really important context about, well, how does that become what it is, and does it actually cause a problem? The other
Okay.
thing is that you mentioned was greenhouse gases and
Yeah.
environmental problems. Like, I totally acknowledge agriculture has an environmental problem, but we only account for about 13% of all emissions amongst the entire industry sectors that we have in the United States. So we are
Hmm.
not the largest emitter. We're not the largest emitter of
Wow.
yeah, we're not the largest emitter
Okay.
of like of gases.
Hmm.
We're not even the largest emitter of CO2. We certainly
Yeah.
do have a methane problem in which we're
Yeah.
trying to solve those things, and agriculture is slowly becoming more and more carbon neutral. So
Oh, that's
so
interesting.
if you ever, I don't know if you know this, but agriculture is the most growing, evolving sector when it comes to technological advancement in terms
Hmm.
of
Get them before it's
manufacturing and
straight.
industry.
Hmm.
So those are things that you should know when you hear those things like that.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I
there's still an
want to hold
issue of
on.
food waste.
Oh, go
That's a
ahead.
different thing.
I'm sorry.
I just said there's probably still an issue of like food waste, but those are admittedly this as far as like these arguments, because this is a very common vegan point of the meat industry is causing a lot of methane, and it's not a bad point, but it just seems a bit focused admittedly as an anti-capitalist, I'll probably sort of do a lot more critiques on the nature of industry and how they all tend to overproduce, but I think it's more of a thing of like special pleading in some cases, but for the
Yeah.
most part, I sort of understand the argument.
Yeah. No. No. Definitely.
Well,
That's why. That's why
the
I.
largest emitter of environmental problems such as gases is
Is
actually
oil.
Vegans.
no, it's actually transportation. So
Oh yeah.
if we were to switch
We're
over to
incorrect.
things like electric, wind, solar, if we were to
Hmm.
switch over that, we would probably knock down our emissions. I mean,
If you
by a
can
great
I
deal.
speak for
Okay.
2 seconds?
Go
Wait.
ahead.
Hold on. Can I respond
If
first?
you're
Sure.
talking about environmentalism,
Oh, okay. Guess not.
you're talking about methane. You're not talking about CO2. CO2 is eaten up by the Amazon and algae in the ocean. CO2 is not a
Which is
problem.
now burned.
Methane is the problem.
Okay.
CO2 actually can be a really big problem because CO2
It can, but it's not.
CO2 contributes to a lot of heat
Listen when you
retention.
talk too much.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
CO2 has to do with a lot of heat retention, and heat retention is part of
That's
the
not true.
issue related to like global warming.
That's
Yeah,
methane.
CO2 definitely. Yeah,
That's methane.
Definitely.
So we're
Yes,
not
that
saying
is
that
why.
methane doesn't, but CO2 definitely plays a really big part of heat retention.
And
And
I would.
and
Mhm.
yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, and I would say CO2 is even more of an issue because we have things like cars and coal businesses and things like that. But on account of what you said in the beginning, you said something like um you have certain dedicated fields for for humans and animals. Why not make all the fields for animals and stop and I mean, why not make all the fields for humans and stop animal suffering just in general? And two, you
I'm
had mentioned a
confused by
point.
your
I guess
question.
I maybe I'm not portraying you right. But so another thing you said is just like we have too much food. Can I like have like a study on that? So you're
Yeah,
saying like the problem would be distribution and how
Absolutely.
do
Like I know this because I debate this all the time. I'm pretty sure I can look it up if Patty doesn't look it up already, but I'm pretty sure we produce enough food to feed like 10 billion people. So this is actually a big argument, especially in the more anti-capitalist side. We could actually
Mhm.
reduce production of all industry and especially of all animal agriculture and still have enough to feed people. Basically a lot of food is wasted, a
Wow.
lot of market concerns. Like in some cases it can be cheaper to literally to let the crops rot rather than actually ship them out. So it's like a super big issue when it comes to like food waste. But yeah, for the
Mhm.
most part, we absolutely have enough food to feed people. Now, as far as the
Mhm.
argument of animals suffering, this is where morals come in. Because then now we're getting into questions of is animal suffering a problem? Which moral system do you
Mhm.
have where that's a problem? Do I
Oh
have
yeah,
that moral
definitely,
system? Yeah.
definitely. Because if you have a sort of religious perspective on the ideology, depending on what religion you follow, I mean, it wouldn't like for example, a Christian might say something like a conservative Christian might say no, a Muslim might say no, it's not an issue because they're not conscious, but an atheist might say yeah, it is an issue. You
Well,
know.
even beyond that, we're talking
I
about moral
agree.
system also exists, right? Like you can
I,
say moral wrong doesn't really exist or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, you could say morals are completely subjective, but you could
No,
also
no, not
say like when
subjective. Like moral right and wrong does not exist. This is where
Okay.
error theory and non-cognitivism come in. We actually do not believe
I
in
posted
yeah.
some links. I posted some links and VC links about how
Yeah.
we absolutely do produce a lot of food. We produce probably a little bit too much food.
Mhm.
And yeah, it has been a problem. So during when COVID first started, this was not by farmers' choice.
Mhm.
We are actually under quite a few regulations that kind of keep us from being able to do everything that we want to do with our crops.
Okay.
But when COVID first started, dairy farmers had to dump tons of milk. Potato farmers had to leave entire hills of potatoes and posting on Facebook, look, we can't say that we're selling them, but if you want some potatoes, you can come get as many as you want at this location. Same thing with tomatoes, cucumbers, just the 9 yards.
So why do you think people are going hungry and not distributing these things if we have enough?
Pretty much, this is going to sound like a really bold claim, but in actuality,
Okay.
in the United States, people tend to not go hungry. We actually have an issue called
Ooh.
hold on. Well, hold on. I know
No,
that's a
no,
really
I'm listening.
controversial statement.
It just caught me
Well,
off
it's
guard.
a
I'm sorry.
it's a very very controversial statement, and the
I
reason why
know.
I'm saying it, that does not mean that there are never people starving on the street. What that means is like so in terms of poverty, we in the United States have something called the obesity poverty paradox, which is
Okay.
essentially where people who are impoverished are also, for some reason, very obese. And this has to do with the fact that access to foods while impoverished means that you are accessing food that like contributes greatly to obesity, probably because of maybe its salt content, sugar
Sure.
content, things like that, processed foods, stuff like that.
Yeah, like the
Whether
low
it be
class, they buy like
vegetarian,
cereal. They buy like
yeah,
cereal and
whether
things
it
like that. Yeah.
be whether it be vegetarian or meat, that this is just what we call the poverty obesity paradox. And so the other thing is this is that the other thing is that like it's very hard in the United States to find someone, like emaciated, starving on the street. Those things tend to happen when someone is experiencing mental health issues, and we definitely have a mental health crisis in the United States. So
Mhm.
like anything possible to help people like the homeless. I think personally, I think that regulations that keep farmers from getting to people who cannot afford farm fresh food. I think that allowing farmers to you know enter into helping those people without so much regulation would be really beneficial.
Mm,
Okay, Paddy and Nanshi,
that's
both of you,
really
I have a
interesting.
question.
Sure.
Mm.
Somebody else wants to open their mic. I understand that you guys are having a discussion, Zoom wants to open his mic, so let's
Oh, it's all good.
let's have a listen to what he thinks.
Yeah, this isn't a debate. I wanted to hear her point of view and her just just how she
Yeah,
thinks.
it's all good. You haven't it's all fine, no problem. But Zoom wanted to speak, so let's hear from Zoom for a second.
Okay. Thanks for opening the mic to me, SD. So I did want to actually talk to Jason. I've been seeing him in text for a while now, but I didn't ever actually get the chance to speak to him. I'd like to talk about ethics because it sounds like he's been talking about vegan ethics a lot. So by all means, Jason, what's going on with you, man? Can you talk now?
Maybe he's
What do you mean? What's going on with me?
Yeah, like why? Like why are you in this server? What do you hope to?
The fucking slaughterhouse, man. It's vegans versus zombies, isn't it?
Okay, I mean,
like I love when people get offended by little words. When you literally have the audacity to pay for somebody to slit a fucking baby girl's cow's throat wide open. It's just fucking mind-boggling to me. You get all sensitive about
Is
words.
that literally all you're gonna do forever?
It's literally all I'm gonna do, mate. It is. Because it's fucking
You
hilarious.
have no real
It makes
argumentation
me
whatsoever.
feel
You're
like an
just gonna sit
asshole.
here and spurg out.
Yeah,
okay,
maybe.
Jason,
Yeah.
let's get into that. Let's get into.
I'm trying to. Let's go.
Okay, so you're saying that you think we're zombies and we're disgusting and we're evil because we're paying for someone to kill an animal for food. Okay.
No. I
No.
say
Okay.
I say that you have been tricked into eating animal products, which makes your body acidic. I'm gonna
That's a good
fucking
argument.
leave, dude. This shit's getting old, bro. It's like the moderator's the biggest cunt of it all. It's like the moderator's the biggest cunt there is. What the fuck is going on?
Okay, Jason, I'm trying to
If you want to talk to me, come to my fucking server. If you want to come to me, come to my
do you have a
server.
little persecution
Sign up.
complex?
Please drop
Sign up to my server.
Complex, a little
Sign up to my
Jason,
server.
I'm trying to have like a serious discussion with you, and I feel like it keeps getting derailed.
It's literally feeling like a little bitch on the background.
Jason, do you have a little vegan complex? A little persecution?
Really.
Drop the link, bro. I will absolutely join. Here, I can
dropping the link.
Do I have to sing a lullaby for
It's
you,
a
Jason?
really silly thing to say because besides introducing Zoom, I haven't said anything else for like around an hour or something like that. So it's a really silly accusation.
May I get a word in?
Cool. I'm gonna mute my mic then.
Oh,
Bye.
hell yes.
Okay.
Well, let's finish hearing from Zoom because Jason's still in the call. So.
Like I just wanted to have an ethical discussion on the nature of veganism and why you think we're committing a moral wrong by choosing to consume animal products.
Oh, God.
Somebody else answer this shit. I don't want to answer it. Somebody else make
Are
up
you
something.
morally at fault for consuming any palm oil that you're consuming at all as a vegan?
Jason, can I ask a question?
Whatever, and you can, I'm sure. You can ask all the questions you want, but you're never going to get an answer.
Can I?
Okay, no one.
Oh, good admission.
Okay, I assume though. I mean, I had my chance to. I was actually speaking, Dread, but
Yeah, no.
We'll make
Zoom. It's still your turn. Dread can wait.
Okay,
Dread, shut up. You wait.
I can wait.
Okay. You can wait. That's cool. So yeah, Jason, you don't want to answer that? I thought that was why you came to the server. Or did you just want to talk about health and environment?
I don't want to talk about anything because as soon as I start talking, there's like fucking the moderator is the dude that's the worst. He's the fucking insinuator of all this shit.
Yeah.
So it's just
Okay.
The insinuator.
What if
What does that even mean?
The instigator?
The record will show otherwise, so it doesn't matter what he says. Carry on.
Okay. I will make sure that no one interrupts you and you get a chance to speak. I just want to actually hear your point of view and have a discussion with you. Is that fair? Jason?
Really not.
Still there? Jason, if you don't want to talk, please just say I don't want to talk, because I'm going out of my way to try and like foster a discussion between us so we can find some common ground. But if you're not interested in that, then I'm not going to waste my time. Is his mic not working, or am I just getting?
No, I can hear you perfectly, and so can he. Most
I can hear you.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
The thing is, you're being reasonable when he doesn't understand that.
Just by the way, while you guys are waiting, if anyone does have an agriculture-related question, I'm happy to answer them in complete and total honesty. He left.
Oh, we couldn't have predicted that, right?
Can I kick him?
I have a question on health though, because Jason did mention that. I do hear a lot that you are a lot healthier on a vegetarian or vegan. I wouldn't necessarily say vegan diet, but on a vegetarian diet for sure. Like you're healthier.
That's an
So
easy
I just want to know like your perspectives on that, and I'll give you my perspective on that. Yeah. Anyone who wants to.
Okay, so I think just
Dad had something to say.
Nancy,
Dad had something to say.
Cuddles. Just before we get into this, Dreg did want to ask something or give his own take on things. So
yeah, he did. Yeah.
The opportunity to talk real quick.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think is Jason willing to answer the question, because if not, I'll just move on.
No, he's not.
I'll let him speak for himself.
JC Poo, you okay, buddy?
Jason, family man.
Jason,
okay,
the ball's dropped yet?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, that's the ego right there.
We didn't mean to make you depressed, man.
Man, ain't nobody got no ego. I got information. People want to hear it.
Everyone
and
has an
clowns
ego.
are stepping into it.
What
you know?
If you have thoughts and emotions, you have an ego.
Okay.
Everyone has an ego.
What information?
Jason, I would like to converse with you in a civil manner. I'm not really appreciative of you insulting people. I do have some questions for you, if I may. But are you willing to answer them? Are you here to
Without getting interrupted? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Would you? Am I the moderator that offended you? I want to be sure about that first.
No, sir. It's that one with the accent, the English accent or whatever accent he's got.
Oh, you mean SD? That's okay.
That's the one. He called me a fucking psycho in the other room where I can't comment. He called me a fucking insane person. That's like,
well,
what the fuck
to
is
be
that,
fair,
man?
okay, in SD's defense,
no, there's nothing fair about that. There's nothing fair about that. What am I going to do about it? You just look like an asshole, though. That's what I'm just saying. You just look like
he is an asshole. He is an asshole.
His name is Vegan Cheese.
Stupid asshole.
I mean,
that's a funny name. Vegan
he's a friend of mine, and I'll call him an asshole.
Vegan cheese sucks. By the way,
that's a funny name.
Okay, Jason,
I'm a vegan. I'll say vegan cheese sucks.
No, that shit is busting. You wildin'. Vegan cheese is good as hell.
So
give me a name.
Jason. Hey.
Yeah, go. I'm listening.
My question for you is: you think that people have been brainwashed into eating meat? Are you implying that humans are herbivores then?
Oh God. Oh no.
You have evidence for that, like a source.
Yeah, biology.
Okay, what?
Wait, Jason. None of our relatives, like in the.
I don't give a fuck what them old ass dudes did. They lived to 25 years old, bro.
No.
I'm gonna start server muting everybody except Jason and me if I have to.
That'd be fantastic.
I asked him a question, I didn't even hear his answer, and I'm getting pissed off. Okay, I asked the question. What was your answer again, Jason? I'm sorry.
Sir, I believe that we are alkaline, herbivore human beings, and religion has stepped into our lives and told us that we should eat animal products because if not, we'll go to hell. And then what has happened to our alkaline body, we have changed to acidic. And when we do that, we become a perfect pH level to start the mitosis of parasitic worm larvae that are in every single bite of animal product. When that happens, you become paranoid, schizophrenic, zombified, female 90% of the time. You become feminine.
Okay.
You also become a herd mentality animal, pig, chicken, or cow.
So wait, you're saying that by eating meat, you become a herd animal?
You are what you eat.
Okay. Does that make
Like,
a
literally.
lion? Does that make a lion a herd animal?
A lion is a carnivore. It's supposed to be eating that.
Okay, but we are not carnivores.
Sir, you can't say that your teeth makes you a carnivore.
Yes, I
Because
can.
if you say that, that means you have to be able to jump on a deer and take a deer down with your little frail teeth. You can't say that your fingernails are claws that we can take deer down with, because the deer would kick you in the face and run off. And even if you did
We have
capture the
tools, you
deer
fucking
and kill
knob.
it, if you don't
That's the whole.
cook it, then if you eat it, you get parasitic worm infection.
I mean, not
Maximum.
from
You
deer,
get the food poisoning.
but not
Everything
not
has
from.
parasites.
We
Yeah,
used
but not all
arrowheads.
parasites. Okay.
We use tools to take them
Okay.
out.
So, well, first things first.
Yep.
Do you believe in? I'm going to make this very clear. Do you believe in evolution? Do you believe in the fossil record?
I do not believe in the theory of evolution.
Okay, then I
Oh,
do not.
God.
I do not believe we can have a conversation at this point. At this point, this is
Woo!
just, do I believe in God? And I'm afraid I do not.
Oh
Well,
God.
There is a thing called God, and the Bible talks about it, but it's not what you think it is.
It doesn't matter to me. I only care
It
about
does
empirical
matter.
evidence.
It does matter because you are
Well-
eating things because of this God.
What you mean? What
Does
you
that
wait?
not
Wait,
affect
hold up.
you?
I don't mean to interrupt, but what you mean? There's no empirical evidence for God.
That's a different conversation,
boy.
and no, there isn't. Anyway.
Okay, we
Anyway.
can have that discussion after this.
Jason,
happy to.
if you're willing to talk to Dredd, would you be willing to answer my questions about ethics? Or at least have a discussion with me on ethics?
The only problem we have had so far is rude people. Can we agree?
No.
Okay.
So I've been the problem?
Regardless, okay, we don't need to point fingers. Let's just
Oh, I'd
forget
like to
all
point
that.
fingers so we can make sure. I want to correct myself if I'm the problem. I would like to know if I'm the
Okay.
problem.
Okay, you've come off as a little assertive and aggressive.
I am not the one slitting throats here.
Also
Okay,
come across
so-
as kind of like a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah,
Why?
like, why are you telling us all that we're feminine when you're coming here and getting all your fifis hurt?
Yes,
Am
man.
I?
Like,
Seriously.
Am
I like-
I? I'm just getting
You're
interrupted.
the most
That's the
feminine
only thing.
speaking person in this chat.
Am I?
I mean,
Like,
you do
literally-
sound like it.
To be honest, the way that you're acting, yeah, it's a little bit of a bitch move.
let's just
Yeah.
move on from
Well,
all
and
this.
you know what? It's actually a
and just
maximum
focus.
alpha move to come in and have to
It's a
deal
maximum
with you fucking
alpha
assholes.
move.
Yes, it
Okay.
is, because I'm confronting
Okay.
every one of you fucking clowns right now.
Jason,
I
do you
walk
know what
into
a
a
link?
room of you people. So what?
You haven't even
Jason.
engaged with me. We were supposed to talk about ethics. You haven't even.
Let's talk about it, please, sir. Continue.
Okay.
Ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So you're saying that you think we are committing a moral wrong by choosing to kill animals or at least purchase animal products for food. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's wrong to do?
Me personally, I am a family man. Obviously, I named myself that. Family is very important to me. Every animal that you pay for to have slaughtered wants to be a family unit. The bull wants to be with the cow and have a family, and they want to have a baby, and they want to raise the baby in their likeness.
Wait,
and teach
what?
the things and protect it. And when you do the things, when you eat a hamburger, you've paid to have that destroyed. You've paid for to have the bull separated. You've paid to have the female raped and tortured and have her children taken from her. It is a moral thing. You got to understand that, right?
Okay, you made a few points there. Why do you assume that animals have this desire? That animals can even understand the concept, or at least bulls and chickens and pigs and other varieties of farm animals understand the concept of the family unit?
Why do you say they don't?
Scream.
Because there's no proof
They
they
scream
do.
when you separate them. They scream
Why not give
for
them the
months
the
and months at
benefit
a
of the
time.
doubt?
Nanch,
Because
if
it's
you don't
not
stop
how-
talking, I will server mute you.
Okay, I
Okay.
apologize.
No, I like other opinions too. I don't want to be the only one.
Okay, so for Jason, family man, who am I responding to? Jason or Nancy?
We'll worry about the
Who wants
conversation with
Jason, the
Nancy
family
later.
Okay, I'll go to Jason. Nancy, we'll talk later.
Sure.
Okay, so Jason, can you repeat yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I kind of lost the train, but I just.
Okay, we were talking about how
do animals. How do I know animals? Yeah.
How do you know animals care about having the?
How do you figure they don't, man? They scream.
Because there's no proof
they scream.
And
Listen,
like
the mother.
a nuclear family, like
They are.
like
They
two
are like a nuclear
parents,
family.
a little kid.
Okay, guys.
Nuclear family. Like
guys,
yeah,
can
they're
we?
going to love. They're going to love their children. They're going to love their children so much so that they scream.
Mute every.
Okay.
Button, please.
So I will literally. I'm saying that I know that they love their children biologically, and that if they're separated from their children, they will scream. Like you're saying, does that mean that they desire to have a family unit, though? Or does that just mean
that's enough for me? How about that? It might be enough for you, but that's enough for me. And I don't eat it. And when I do eat it, it gives me heart disease and colon cancer.
Okay, but I was kind of more interested in going into the ethics of it because I mean,
well, if you know it's wrong. Come on, you don't know this shit's wrong. I can give you a video that would show you something, and it would explain everything that I could paint a pretty picture for you with my words. But
I've probably seen it, man. I've seen a lot of these videos. I don't.
What are you doing then? If you know that, you know that's wrong.
Okay, why do you assume I know that's wrong? I don't think you have an idea of a family unit.
This is you wanting me to tell you that it's fucked up. You want somebody besides the zombie to tell you that it's wrong, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm telling you, when you they cut the throats of these girls, these little baby animals' throats. They slit their throats while they're fully awake, and they scream, and the fucking noise comes out of their throat. They're screaming.
Does anyone else smell gas?
Okay, yes, it's I'm against torturing animals. I don't know where.
Every single animal that you eat has to die the same way.
Okay, and I want to change that.
So do it. Instead of eating pig bacon, eat fucking bacon, vegan bacon. We have 8 different types. We got something for everybody.
But that doesn't take you to veganism, what you're saying, because you're not saying why killing an animal for food is necessarily wrong. You're just saying why our current system for killing animals is wrong.
That's been the system. You're not the system from day one. It has to be done that way.
No, it doesn't. You can literally kill an animal by stunning it with a bolt gun.
Zoom.
That's not how you kill an animal. That's just stunning it. It's called a stun.
Yes, and that will be painless, and then you can kill it by like slitting its throat.
It's not painless. It's not painless. You just knock it out a little bit, and that's only kosher. You're only getting knocked out if you're getting kosher.
No, it literally is.
No, I'm sorry. The kosher is the one that gets hit in the head.
Hello?
No, it's literally painless when you stun it. That's what stunning is.
How do you know, man? It looks pretty fucked up to me. Looks pretty fucked up to me.
Because I have
slit the throat and it's fucking screaming and shit. It looks pretty fucked up to me, man.
It won't.
Pretty painful, and it looks something I would never do. Would you do that?
Destroy its brain.
Would you? It doesn't destroy the brain, though. It doesn't. It just pokes a little hole.
Me too. Me too, if I may.
Okay, somebody else explain.
Me and
I don't know what I'm
Nancy
talking about.
to get into this.
Please, I would like to explain the stunning process, depending upon which animal are you guys talking about.
Fantastic.
Anyway?
Can you make it
sure,
feel
like,
great?
let's say pigs.
Pigs don't get they get the electrocution and gas.
He's definitely talking about the rabbits that get killed. That's definitely
cows.
Okay, but let's hear Patty.
Talking about cows. Cows.
And then
after I say this, I can provide a couple videos that are where they have Temple Grandin is hosting these videos. So so let's do cows, right? So for cows.
Patty.
I think your mic cut up.
Sorry, I got a phone call, and it's my mom, so she's going to end up calling me back. I'm driving, I can't. Anyway, so yeah, so let's do sheep. I want to do sheep because I just saw the video today about sheep. So the way.
How about cows? We were talking about cows though.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, we can do cows. It's almost essentially the same process, just a little bit different.
Yeah, fuck them all.
So with cows, so with cows, they start at the processing plant, basically. Well, they don't start there, but they go to the processing plant. While they're at the processing plant, they put them in a line. They use no slip mats to keep them from slipping because cows have, cows' eyes are on sides of their faces, so they can only see in terms of like depth perception not very well. So they go into a line through the processor. They go through the line through the processor. The processor gets one cow in, the other part is blocked off, so the cow behind can't see what's going on in front of them. There's a couple different methods. The most common method being a bolt gun method, which is bolt guns are used for stunning. They're also essentially pretty much permanent. Once you get hit by a bolt gun, there really isn't any coming back from that, although you can somehow retain consciousness in very, very rare exceptions. So
Really.
they hit him with
It's
a bolt
not the
gun.
wall.
I don't know who that is
Okay.
talking. Can you stop? So they hit him with a bolt gun. The bolt gun stuns the cattle or puts the cattle in unconsciousness. Cattle goes down. After the cattle goes down, someone pulls the cattle through the chute. Once the cattle's through the chute, they then slit the throat and begin the hanging up process. During all of this, 1 second.
Okay, but I want to.
Wait, hold on a minute, if I may.
Last thing. Sorry. During all of this, there is someone who is a kind of like almost like an inspector, and they pull in the cow's ears. They might pull in the cow's tongue to ensure that this animal's dead, because we know that a cow's dead when their tongue is hanging lazily outside of the mouth. So that's the process. It's just like that.
So it does sound like that is a more ethical process than obviously slitting someone's throat. My sort of question is, and I think this is what Jason was sort of alluding to, was okay, that's great, but it's not. But I think what he and I were sort of alluding to.
Stop interrupting.
Right.
Please let Nancy speak.
Was
You know what?
like,
I'm not
why
gonna fucking
even
talk when you motherfuckers ask me to then.
why even sort of do that at all? You know, like I think a lot of, and this I'm assuming, so please don't be offended, but I think a lot of meat eater arguments come from a place of like, oh well, animals taste good, and well, like we could apply that same logic to, let's say, like a baby or something. Like, oh well, babies taste good, you know, so sometimes we just electrocute them. Oh, they don't feel any pain, you know. Oh, it's the non-suffering. But you could argue that. But yeah. Wait, can I just finish real quickly?
Yeah.
But yeah, you could just you know, why even do that at all and have them not live the rest of the life that they have? You know, that just seems a little unethical to me, to kill something before it's supposed to die.
Okay, so I would say the difference between an infant is that, and an animal is, the infant will grow to have the necessary self-awareness to understand its life. The animal never will. It will just, it's not, animals don't develop that.
How do you know
Their
that?
intelligence level.
How do you, that's I would disagree with that fundamentally. I mean, there are species of ravens and crows and octopus and other animals. I mean, even a cockroach, if you take a cockroach and run after it and slam next to it, it'll run for its life.
What is my
you know, so I
existence?
mean,
Who am
hold
I?
on. I'm not. I haven't
What is
finished.
this?
Zycron, please.
Yeah, please, man. I just like I said earlier before, I have no intention in debating you. I genuinely want to understand where you're coming from and why, but I'm just expressing my opinion, right? So, but I mean, you could do the same thing with a cockroach. A cockroach would run for its life. You know, that's pretty self-aware. If you ask me, to fear for your life is to be aware
That's
for your life.
survival instinct. What the fuck?
You know?
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Nancy, and I'm happy to explain to you my my thought process here if you're willing to listen.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so what I would say is, first of all, I actually do agree with you that ravens and octopus and some species of animals do display some very impressive signs of mental self-awareness, and I would actually agree it would be wrong to kill those animals for food. So I don't eat raven, I don't eat dolphin, I don't eat apes. There's a variety.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Octopus slap though.
That's a good one. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right. So well, I'm more just talking about like farm animals, and you give up the point of cockroaches. Like cockroaches, as Zycron said, do have a survival instinct. They do want to live, or I guess like they will try to live if they think their life is threatened, but that doesn't necessarily entail an understanding of what death is or an understanding of what their life is.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're any less like I'm sorry, I don't know how to. I have a lot of brain fog right now. I just, you know. working out. I don't get a lot of sleep.
Must
But
be that lack of meat. Man.
but yeah, like
I felt
you
that when I
know,
was vegan too.
okay, I'm not vegan. Please don't assume. But
Starting it out can cause brain fog too.
okay, that's cool. But like I was saying, that doesn't make you any less wrong. You're still, and that's what makes you, immoral and unethical.
No, I think it actually does, because I don't think you're taking anything away from them. They don't.
Okay, if I were to kill a dog just because I wanted to kill the dog, I mean, even if the dog doesn't know that it's about to die or can't even conceive that it's gonna die, does that still make me wrong? Because I can perceive it.
Well, that's a different thing. You can actually make an argument even if the animal isn't self-aware. You can say that this is violent behavior, and people who tend to abuse animals tend to abuse people. So you can probably make some arguments that doesn't even
Yeah,
have to involve.
violent behavior isn't unethical.
I could go deeper.
Depends on the context.
You feel me? Like violent
we just
behavior
make an
isn't unethical?
exception for
Like, come on.
dogs because we like dogs, guys. It's
Like,
not
I
that
could go
complicated.
deeper.
It's not that deep.
Please go deeper.
It's not
Zoom.
that deep
Please,
though. We think
please go
that
deeper.
we think
Zoom.
that dogs are cute. We
Okay.
think that dogs are cute,
Zychron,
so we don't
please.
kill them.
Okay,
It's not deeper
Zychron,
than
dude.
that.
Zychron,
Dude,
dude, come on.
Zychron, I swear to fucking God.
Dude, please. go.
Okay. So my logic would be that I think what he was saying is that for dogs, we kind of make a special exception for them because we share a society with dogs. But I don't think he would actually be harming the dog. I think he would be harming the people who live in our society and value dogs.
You wouldn't be harming something by murdering it.
If it had no actual ability to conceptualize its life and you didn't give it a negative experience while doing it, I don't think you would be harming it.
Every animal, I would argue, has an ability to sort of conceptualize the fact that it's alive.
Wait, sorry. Do you think
That's-
if a human being is not able to conceptualize the meaning of life or what life is it morally permissible to kill it?
No.
The argument of marginal cases. Classic.
Ooh, that's a
Because
good
they are
one.
human.
That's a good
Because they
one.
are human.
Because they're
Yeah,
literally-
that's special pleading though.
That's
Saying
no,
that it's
no,
a
no,
human
no,
is
no, no.
special
Doesn't-
pleading.
Wait, okay,
That's
hold
true.
on.
That's
We
logical
can-
fallacy.
guys,
Let's not
I want
overtalk.
to talk
Let's
to
not
Thomas,
overtalk.
please.
Yeah, let's not overtalk each other because this is
Okay.
interesting.
So I'm gonna get into this with Thomas. It's not special pleading. I don't think that concept is even coherent when
Okay.
it comes
do
to
that,
ethics, because
Hey, why not?
everything is special pleading.
Can I actually ask a question here? I've been quiet quite a while.
Hey,
Guys,
is it?
Is it?
I can universally apply my
Guys.
notion of ethics, right? To like
Yeah,
all.
why universally apply it to anything? Why apply it to like
my universe? Because it's special pleading otherwise.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Wait, I can explain this. This is the argument of marginal cases.
This is what I'm saying. Like Cuddles, can I get into this? So I'm saying you are special pleading by picking something like sentience over not sentience, essentially. It's all going to come down to special pleading. And I'm telling you, I value human beings for having a human shell. Looking like a human being is enough for me to give something moral consideration.
Yep, it's like a
so it's
mental
not
category.
Okay. Yeah, I can take that.
It's like if there was a clone, like let's say it's a pea zombie, right? Like even that I would grant moral value just because my autonomic nervous system would recognize them as a living, breathing, feeling human, even though they're a pea zombie and their internal experience would be blank, right? That's the
Wait,
idea,
okay, just
you have
so
categorical ideas of things. Like you have a category of a chair. That same idea of a category of a chair that you sit in is like the idea of a human that's conscious and feels things. So that's a neurological category that your autonomic system automatically fucking
one more
knows.
question so I understand Zoom's position. So you would say that if an animal would be capable of processing like the meaning of life, so to say, right? I don't know what you said exactly. Then it would be morally reprehensible to kill them?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, I can take that, sure.
Okay, cool. So, Nancy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't understand why you hold that position because I mean, my sort of position is essentially like they have some sort of faculties of awareness, and we don't necessarily need to eat them. So why do we eat them? Is the question. Why do you over not having them suffer because they do suffer? You choose to eat them? Like, what is the reason for
Taste
that?
good. Taste
Well, yeah,
good.
that's a
don't
burden of
think
proof.
they have to. So I don't think they're actually suffering, is my point, when you do it without provoking a negative experience in them. Like without scaring them, without killing them in a way that's excessively brutal. Like we were talking about the bolt gun in the head. They don't even see it coming. Like, how is that suffering without that ability to understand the value of your life?
Are they doing that right now? Industries?
Yeah, they are.
Bolt guns
They're
coming.
completely industries are completely and 100% ethically treating animals well.
Oh, no one said
With
that.
the bolt gun thing, yeah, they don't know what's happening. It's like if you had a brain embolism, it would just be like black. It's pretty ethical. It'd be like if you had a brain embolism, like you wouldn't know that you were dying. You would just be black, right? That's what the fucking shit
Yeah,
is
but
happening to these cows.
my claim against that was the violence that you would be committing. It would still be a violent action on you because you would
What
still
if
be
you don't
murdering
care?
something.
What if you're a slaughter
And
worker
that's
who
the
doesn't
issue.
care?
That's the issue is you don't care. Yeah, that would be the issue.
What if there is a slaughter worker who does not care?
That would
Well, that's
make
the
you
issue.
psychopathic by definition.
Yeah, that's
wouldn't
the
it?
issue.
What?
That would be the issue. Yeah.
How are we defining
that would be the issue.
psychopathy, by the way?
Dude,
No.
that's
Please,
a
please
weird
don't
definition, 'cause,
entertain
like,
that. Cuddles,
to me, it
don't
seems like
entertain
it
that.
only
Don't
extends
entertain
to humans, like human empathy. The extent to which you can
Killing
put
small
like
animals, no?
yourself in the shoes
Yeah.
of another human, not like
I know.
cow or chicken.
Okay.
Fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I'm telling you that you should be more empathetic. That's the issue. You're not being empathetic enough.
I could be more empathetic, but
I would say that you need to be
psychopathy is about empathy for other humans,
empathetic.
not chickens,
No,
cows,
but I don't
fucking
understand
sheep.
why you would choose less empathy over more empathy. You
But
know,
you haven't established
No, I'm
especially
choosing
I'm not. I
more
didn't finish.
taste pleasure over less
Hold on,
taste pleasure.
hold on.
You fucking
I didn't
like what?
finish. I didn't finish talking, dude. Come on. Like, sorry. Something.
More
caught my
empathy,
attention.
less empathy.
But I don't understand why you'd pick less empathy over more empathy.
It's not about less empathy. It's just about non-consideration.
What do you mean non-consideration? You being
It's
inconsiderate about something?
Non-consideration. Do you not know what that means? It means I do not consider it.
I know.
It's just not even in my mind. As in, I like the food, and I know where it comes from. But I've seen the videos, and I was vegan, right? But it I went back because yummy. So
Okay.
If I'm saying that, wait,
so now my issue. I don't hold on.
Because
My issue with that is right. Is the fact of would you want to be in such a position where you wouldn't be able to live your entire life?
No. It's a great thing I'm a human and not in that position, bro.
Okay, so if you agree no, then why would you put something else in that position?
Well, because we have self-awareness and they don't.
We do have self-awareness.
They have self-awareness as well.
They do have self-awareness of their own life. We were talking about
and she never proved that.
Jason,
look, the
Jason,
neurological system of a
chicken,
a cow. Hold on, the neurological system of like a chicken, a cow, a pig.
Sure.
It is incredibly rudimentary in comparison to the enormous complexity of the human brain. Okay, this is like undebated. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
undebated.
I agree.
So what the
fuck?
What is this?
What does that? What does that say?
So in every single fucking margin, they have probably less generation of consciousness in their brain, less neurons firing, like less. I mean, you could probably even measure this in squares, like they'd be having less neurons firing, less cognitive ability, less reasoning ability upon every fucking measurement, dude. They don't have conscious experience.
Okay,
like we
all
do.
you're saying.
They don't have
dolphin,
the ability to
what if the dolphin is actually smarter than you?
All right. Okay, so hold on. All you're saying, Zycron, is you're saying this, that they have less neurons, which I agree with because we have billions of neurons compared to their millions, right? And so that's a statement I would agree with, right? But you're not really explaining as to why, like, as to how they couldn't be sentient, and they are sentient. They are sentient to a degree. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt as to,
So, I'm not
it doesn't make sense as to why you would.
So your
why you
argument,
wouldn't be
I need you to let me talk for a bit.
They don't appear to be.
Okay.
Sure.
Dread wants to talk for a little. I'm gonna let him speak, and then I'll jump right back in.
Sure.
God,
So Dread, floor is yours.
damn, it's hard to talk. So do we lose? Yeah, it looks like we lost Jason. Okay. So I was asked a question a while ago by Natch and about vegetarian and vegan diet and is it healthy? Is that was your question, correct?
I mean, honestly, I would. Sorry. Again, brain fog. Had a long
Okay.
night. But yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Just give me a
allow
moment.
me to answer the question. A vegetarian or a vegan diet can be quite handy for somebody who is trying to lose weight. Now, that is not to say that everyone needs to lose weight.
Sure.
Okay?
It could be good for
Veganism,
gaining weight too.
specifically veganism, however you define it, because there's no way to define veganism at this point,
Sure.
is effective in cases where people are in critical need of a drop in typically adipose tissue or cholesterol. But
Sure.
it is.
I'm not a vegan.
Neither am I. I don't even know
I'm
what
a
a vegan
vegetarian.
is. No one has actually defined what veganism is.
I mean,
So
if you want
I
to
don't
use,
believe it
if you want to, I don't want to get into a semantical. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
cut you off, but I don't want to
Dread,
go into a semantical conversation. But I mean, if I were to define what a vegan is, I would just to say someone who abides by not using or eating animal products in any way. So instead of getting leather, you buy cashmere. Or is that animal product?
Anyway, that was the question you asked. The question that ultimately, veganism and a vegan diet is actually for a normal human, a normal non-overweight, non-cholesterol overbearing, is actually a very unhealthy diet.
Wrong.
All
the medical industry disagrees
Jason,
with you. That's absolutely wrong.
Citation is needed on that. Like,
that's
like a very extraordinary claim,
well,
and I need empirical evidence for that.
If you keep talking over me, I will kick you from the server. I'm getting really sick of this shit.
Yeah, Jason, please don't do that. You
I
can't just
swear to
call him
fucking
wrong.
God.
We have to ask him for something, but yeah, Dred,
No, you can't just say that the vegan diet is wrong and not provide any type of
Hold
citation.
on.
Can you mute
Hold
him?
the fuck on.
I don't think
I
that's
did not
what he
say
said.
it was wrong. I did not say it was wrong. I said for a normal human who is not overweight, it is unhealthy. Right. And the answer to that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
A couple people say no.
And I can prove it to you with a very simple statement.
Sure.
If you supplement any diet with artificial supplements, by definition, it is unhealthy.
No, wait. Can you provide? Wait. Why? Wait, sorry. Why is that unhealthy?
Because without your supplements, you would literally end up probably dying. You would result in pernicious anemia. You would result in calcium
that's why you
and iron deficiency.
That's why you take the supplement, though.
Congratulations, you've
it's
proven
part of
my
a vegan
point.
diet.
Good job, you proved my point. Thank you. It is an unhealthy diet if you have to supplement. Well done.
So now, what
vegan athlete disagrees.
Okay, now
I don't give a shit. That's fine.
What does that say about your argument, Dred? That doesn't say
It
anything.
says that
You're
it's
just saying.
Right.
Okay.
My statement is accurate.
That
So you on a vegan diet and does not supplement. They will get unhealthy.
So let me,
Dred, but you're missing the point.
Can I rephrase your argument?
No,
so you are saying that.
Okay, go ahead, vegan.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good.
Okay, so what you are saying literally is that you should supplement if you're a vegan. That's what you're saying, and nobody disagrees with that. That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, no,
nobody disagrees with that.
Dred, okay, you have to let us talk. If you again put words in my mouth, I will kick you from the goddamn server. I'm getting sick of this.
So you're out there at
I said, my opinion is nobody should be a vegan unless guided by a doctor in the case of trying to lose weight in the case of obesity.
Sure.
Okay, guys, you wanna?
Why? Okay, why?
Because it is an unhealthy lifestyle and it has a bad habit of making you a sanctimonious prick.
Look, guys, can we go back to ethics
so it's just,
because I think this.
So all of you, okay. So the second one was an ad hom, and then the
No,
first
it wasn't.
one, yes, it was. So the second one was an ad hom, and the first one you claimed it was unhealthy,
become the
right?
most ubiquitous
unhealthy
in the fucking
How is it
Fuck
unhealthy? Give me an example as to how veganism is unhealthy.
Okay, do you know what calcium deficiency is?
Sure.
Do you know what?
You can supplement calcium.
I don't need to.
Not effectively. And if you supplement, you are proving that your diet is unhealthy.
How is
iron deficiency?
Wait, but supplements are part of the vegan lifestyle. You know that, right?
By supplementation, you are literally patching the holes of which you would get all of those other dietary requirements in an artificial manner You are literally saying, my diet isn't good enough for me to survive on, so I have to literally fake it to make it. Well done.
Here, guys, I think if you want to, do you want to keep talking about this, or should we move on to ethics? Because I feel like this is.
Yeah, this was a sort of side. I mean, I'm more than happy continuing this because I just don't think he understands that the supplements in the diet to prevent animal death. That's why we do it.
You're
So I
never
think
going to prevent animal death with supplementation. That's ridiculous.
we can prevent animal death by not killing them. What are you talking about?
I do not think that you ever kill anyone. First things first, I would never assume that you would go around killing animals for fun. I don't think you're a sociopath or a psychopath.
Yeah, that would be a hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, hunting, first things first, hunting is an entirely separate topic.
Your argument is falling apart.
Sociopath. You just said it was a sociopath action. You just said it.
I am giving you, this is the last warning I'm giving you. You talk over me again, I'm kicking you. I am sick of this.
Why would that be a hunter?
First things first, hunters perform a very vital service to the ecology that they're in.
Okay,
unless you want deer to overpopulate, overrun their own environment, and wipe themselves out.
Deer can't overpopulate without wolves.
Wait.
At least, honestly, I wouldn't bet all my money on that statement, but I would say that it does a pretty natural job.
Listen, guys, we're completely derailing off topic now. Let's just try and circle this back to veganism. If we can.
Sid, and I'm also gonna circle it back into veganism. Who is the man of the house today, gentlemen?
Right in the middle of the chaos.
Because I'm Sid. Who am I gonna slice today? Who's the man?
Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just appoint a moderator for this because people apparently don't like my moderation style. So even though I have a good reputation in this regard, Zoom, are you willing to moderate the rest of the conversation?
Yeah, I'm free for a few hours. I can do it.
Okay, good. You go ahead.
Just a second. Isn't Zoom supposed to participate?
Well, I can do both.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I'll just do both. I'll just chat and I'll keep the conversation fair.
I would nominate Sarah. I want you to participate.
Okay.
If you want Sarah to do it, that's fine.
So I do for the people who claim to be vegan here. What happens if you go off supplementation but continue a vegan diet?
I'm a winning vegan athlete.
I mean, I
do you see? But that's the thing. You're not understanding. It's a
supplementing.
Wait, can I ask you a question? What if you don't drink water? That's part of the meat-eating diet. Why is it irrelevant? You're making the same argument.
No, I am not.
I was answering.
Yes, you are.
Hold on, I was answering.
No.
Guys, one at a time.
I had
one at a time. Answer Dread.
With B12.
It sounds like Thomas was answering Dread. Zygron, please. Okay, Thomas, Dread, 4-0.
So I had a question. So what if you don't drink water? Are you gonna die?
Yes, you will die.
Based. Okay, can I make the argument that the meat eater diet is unhealthy because if you don't drink water, you die?
No, your argument makes
Why not?
It makes
Why not? Wait, you're.
Are you attributing nutrient intake to water intake? Because on its surface, your statement makes no sense. They are two entirely separate things.
How so?
Do you know anything about the digestive system? Do you know anything about nutrient transport?
I know something about them, yeah.
Then I believe your question is a red herring.
It's not a red herring. I'm asking a question. I'm using your logic to defeat your argument.
You are not using my logic at all because I'm not attributing water to a supplement.
You're okay, based. So the supplement is part of the vegan lifestyle. You know that, right? Just like water is part of the meat-eating lifestyle, quote unquote.
I disagree.
No, okay. You are.
So you are criticizing a lifestyle.
You are attributing water to a supplement.
You're cutting him off.
God, man.
You're not understanding. You're not understanding. But maybe if you stop yelling, you would. Just give him 10 seconds to explain.
He is okay. I'll allow you to make the mental gymnastics. Be my guest.
Mm-hmm.
What mental gymnastics? Okay,
just go ahead.
Taken
So-
supplements in 4 years, and I train. I'm a vegan athlete.
Go ahead. Go
Winning.
ahead, Thomas.
So what you are
no
doing is
supplements.
you are attacking the vegan lifestyle on the basis that supplementing is a part of it. This is
No,
the
that
issue.
is not what I'm doing. What in the world do you people think I think? I've been very clear.
Wait, what? Okay, can you?
said,
Oh wait.
I am
Okay,
not
can you
attacking
tell me
the
what your
vegan
point is then? So can you tell me what the point is then you're trying to make?
Yeah, sorry about that. I got a phone call that I got a spam call.
Sure.
I was asked a specific question, which was, is the vegan or vegetarian lifestyle healthy? And I said, it is healthy. In given Zoom, will you please let me finish?
Okay, sorry, my bad. But I do need to moderate. Could you put a pin in that, Dread? That it's just you've been talking for a while now, and after this point, I'd like to maybe see if anyone else has something to say because we've been
Zoom,
on this topic.
I was just asked a question.
Okay, no, I mean after this. That's what I mean.
Okay, I was asked a specific question. Okay, is this diet healthy? And I said, in some given circumstances, with guidance from your doctor, it can be. But generally, for a normal human, no, it is not.
Okay.
Okay, why isn't it healthy?
Why
do
is
you
it
trust
not healthy?
doctors?
Why isn't it healthy? You're just saying you made the claim that it's not healthy.
Because
Okay, hold on.
vegan diet.
I have not even finished my sentence.
Okay, but
Okay,
you asked a
so
question.
I have not even finished my sentence.
Did he ask a question?
Okay, all right. So you made the claim that it is not healthy. You said that without a doctor, that people, that it shouldn't happen, and I'm gonna assume you mean you mean that people who don't have a doctor when they are on a vegan diet are being injured or hurt in some way. So can you provide evidence for that? And
that's easy. Hold on. No. You asked a
sure,
question.
yeah,
Let me answer your question.
Hold on. Okay.
No.
All right.
If you're going to ask a
question.
Yeah,
He asked the question. No. You asked the question. Let him answer. You don't ask a question unless you want to fucking answer.
Okay. There are absolutely cases. There are many of them of vegans who have starved their babies to death because they fed them soy milk. Huh?
Okay.
That's
okay,
one.
Jason, I have warned you multiple times. Stop interrupting. One more time, I'm kicking you. Do you understand?
You know what? My microphone is off for a reason. People want to hear me talk, and I haven't said anything for like at least an hour.
Please do not kick him. Please do not kick him.
Yes, let's Dread. We've been talking about the subject for a long time. I think maybe we can circle back around to it, but Jason has been waiting patiently. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear what Nancy and Thomas have to say too, because I think they have questions they want to contribute. We'll circle back to this later.
I like hearing Nancy.
Okay, let's hear what Nancy has to say. He has a lot of questions.
Sounds
Sure.
good.
I just don't think he understands what the vegan diet is. Essentially, he says that it's unhealthy. I don't understand why it's unhealthy. Vegan diet includes. I can't even speak. The vegan diet includes the supplements. So why are you taking out the supplements and saying it's unhealthy when the vegan diet includes the supplements? It doesn't make sense.
Well, listen, we were supposed to move on from this subject.
So yeah, we go to the ethics.
Okay. Oh, you want to go back to ethics? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we can circle around back to ethics.
Back to the
because I was actually having some questions.
Sure.
Because Nancy, you were saying that we should have more empathy, but the problem is that you haven't established necessarily why more empathy is an option. So we can say that animals have sentience. We can say have the pain response. But in my conversations with,
I'm sorry, what kind of statement was that? Why more empathy is an option? What?
I'm saying that you haven't established why empathy.
Answer that. That's like, why do we have morals? Like what?
Well, I'm saying that. So I'm saying that if you take that as an axiomatic
situation, right?
I'm saying that if you take these,
why do we have morals, Cuddles? Answer that question for me on an atheistic, secular perspective. Why do we have morals?
Hold on. So
this is metaethics, which is super fun. I can totally answer.
Cuddles. Hold on. So I don't think that what Cuddles said is in any way super, what's the word, controversial. When we talk about like modes of empathy, like when we talk about morals and like how much empathy do you have, like everyone's mode of empathy could actually be maximal. So like even though you may not, for example, like you may not kill an animal for food, like you may not own a farm or whatever, because you believe that like in order for you to reach maximal amounts of empathy, you must not own a farm. Me on the other hand, I can't comprehend that attitude, because for me, owning a farm, considering my animals in terms of making sure that they're fed, making sure they're well taken care of, making sure that when I do process them, it's quick and painless as possible.
Process.
For me, that's maximal empathy which I can give to an animal meant for food.
Okay, so you're saying
Process
people who
means
okay, so
kill,
you
right?
make okay, so
Yes,
you're
process means
essentially
kill.
so okay, so essentially you're making sort of like cup infinite cup water claim, right? And so like when I say
I'm
that I
not
mean
sure if
my
I
whole
am. I don't know
I
that
I
example.
I I was just
Me
about to
neither.
explain, right? And so if you have a cup, right? Let's say the water is the empathy, right? And the cup is the human who can hold the amount of empathy, right? And so let's say that your cup is not as big as my cup, right? Shouldn't we take the person who has the biggest cup and fill that cup up and then make
No,
laws and
no. In
things
fact,
about that?
I'm arguing that your cup is probably not even. Is probably not bigger than mine. Your cup is probably equal to mine, except our modes of empathy in which we consider these things are different. But
Mhm.
there's no way in which you can say that yours is better.
And I'm
So
telling
the
you
only
what's in
time
the
the only
cup.
time that you can actually say, oh, we know what's in the cup. We're talking about empathy. So
You
anyway,
don't.
Mhm.
No, you don't.
so
What's in the
okay.
cup?
Uh,
No, I
Jason,
think you've
please,
talked
man.
Can you please be
enough.
quiet?
Guys,
Mind
let
you,
Patty,
John,
Come on, come on,
let
come
her
on.
finish. She's answering
Had
Nancy's
I just
question.
started talking? What
her
the
and then
hell?
her again. Okay.
So
Yeah,
by
I'm
Jason.
listening.
I
I'm listening,
literally,
Patty. I'm listening. I'm
yeah,
listening.
fine.
Guys,
Okay, all right, cool. So Nanshi, in this
Mhm.
conversation, you've already presupposed that your cup is bigger, simply because this is your opinion in which you give maximal consideration to. So the very
Mhm.
example of like the infinite water cup, by you saying that my cup is shorter than yours, is exactly getting to what I'm getting to, is the fact that no, in the example that I gave, is that no one's
Mhm.
cup is actually bigger. We just consider
Mhm.
these things in two different ways, but there's no way
Mhm.
in which we can actually measure whose cup is bigger.
Okay. So I would, and that's a very good point, honestly. And so I'd ask probably for a couple moments to think about a response to that. But I mean, I guess initially I would say, um, I would think we all do agree on things like murder, right? Things like murder, things like sexual assault, things like that. I think we all come to a
I
pretty
mean, do
good.
we really?
Yeah, I would say no. I would know.
That's well. Then why do we have
I
a legal
say
system?
people
We
have
have,
two
hold on,
standards.
wait. We have the legal
Why
system.
hold
Well,
on? There's four people
legal
here.
system's a really bad example for this, because we have a
How so?
legal system, right? Well, think about it this way: we have a legal system, right? We have someone like Brock Turner, who apparently
Mhm.
sexually assaulted a girl behind a dumpster, and yet he barely spent any days in jail. So, like, do we all really consider things like sexual assault in the same way?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But you could say that the legal system is always changing and getting more complex and better, because the legal system
No.
was. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna provide an example, right? So the legal system wasn't as good, let's say, to our people, black people. That's you in the picture, right, Patty?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So like you would say systemically, right? The legal system has gotten better because white people, I guess, are becoming more empathetic, and we're making a bigger change as black people. You know,
Oh God,
you
no.
could
So
say.
this is so you're talking. We're bringing politics into this. Politics. Once you're going to
Well,
politics,
well, that would be oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
that's so this is a weird thing where people are talking about like meta ethical positions and we jump to like applied ethics. Applied ethics and even normative ethics are completely different. So when it comes to the normative ethics or the empathy example, you're talking about how the world ought to be. We're not even talking about how the world is. Applied ethics is all about like politics and gaming and power. Like even if we talk about something like the abolition of slavery has nothing to do with empathy or liking black people. The abolition of slavery had to do with the North noticing that slavery gave the South a lot of power and removing the institution so that they can retain power. So yeah, so the idea of like morals in general, especially in the context of politics, especially in the context of the legal system, is almost always more of a political game than like any form of empathy. Now, if you have a metaphysical assumption that we ought to be more empathetic or but to be as empathetic as possible, that's fine. It's just that we don't have to hold that assumption. We can have different lines for empathy. We can have different cutoff points wherever we choose. That's why I'll be very careful about throwing applied ethics into like normative systems. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I don't think I really disagree, or that doesn't take away from any of our points really. I think it's just like, yeah, I don't see how that, like, it does contribute, but I don't see how it takes away from my point. I mean,
it's just framing. It's really just about framing the point, not like how we frame. Because now let's take it to empathy again, right?
Well,
so we can say that we should have
sorry,
empathy
quickly. Very quickly. I'm sorry. But I mean, wouldn't you say that we need to talk about the applied morality, the morality that we have now, and the political system that we have now, right? To understand, like, as you said, meta morality. I think that the meta ethics, right? We can't get to a place that we haven't gotten to yet without the place. Like for example, like we can't get to the end of the road until getting halfway to the road, right? And so if we're already halfway to the road, that would be the applied morality, and the meta would be getting to the end of the road. Even though I guess we can't conceive of the end of the road, or we can't. Well, we're still trying. That would be the point of applying the applied morality already.
Sort of, kind of. So normative ethics is the trying to. Normative ethics is here's what we ought to do. Meta ethics just says, what do we say when we mean moral claims? So are moral claims truth apt? Are moral claims objective? Are moral claims even propositions at all? So that's why meta ethics is like super duper abstract. That's almost purely in the philosophical realm. It has almost nothing to do with normative positions. Applied ethics is pretty much the only one that deals with the real world. But so like, even if we take it to, and we can go as far back as like saying that, is there even an end goal to ethics at all? Because this is where meta ethics comes in. Because I would be considered a moral skeptic. I don't believe in moral right or wrong.
Sure, but you can provide an axiom that makes morality objective and subject. That makes morality objective.
Exactly, or subjective or whatever. So, but let's if you keep it narrowed down to the context of animals and empathy. So,
hi, you okay? I just wanted to pop in very quickly. I'm sorry to derail the conversation that you're having. Is interesting as it is, but there's a couple of questions coming in, and like I guess it's my job to read them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Zycron has asked a question. It's to you. Is it Nanshi? I think that's what you said. It's pronounced.
Yeah, Nanshi. Right? That's okay.
He is asking you. He says, ask him for a definition of ad hominem. I doubt he knows what that means. Yet he used it in discussion to just a regular old insult. So that's Zycron's question to you. I just wanted to make sure everybody is getting their questions out there, so you can respond to that, of course.
I mean, I would say that it's a type of, like, I would say that it's an insult. You can apply insults. I guess I'm misusing that word. And if please educate me. But I would say that it's just something because it doesn't necessarily pertain.
Zycron, let him finish his answer at least before you respond.
Yeah. So I guess it's just something that, like, doesn't really just pertain to anything that we're saying. It's completely irrelevant, and it usually is an insult. Insults are usually irrelevant, like to a conversation.
An insult is just an insult. So like if you
but my point would be
insult, that's just an insult. That isn't an ad hominem.
Yeah. Okay. So my point would be, right, if we're talking on the subject of, like. Yeah, okay, so my point would be, like, if we're talking on the subject of...
Do you know what it is? Just say yes or no.
Okay, so my point would be, like, if we're talking on the subject of, like, God, right? Saying, oh, F you, you're stupid, that would be an ad hom to me, because it doesn't pertain to the argument in any way.
That's just an insult. It's just...
Okay, well then can you help me understand what ad hom means, and I'll use a better term.
It would be like if you had within the premises of your argument insults, and you use those to instantiate and embold the conclusion of the argument.
Well, wasn't that what Jason was doing earlier?
No, he gave the argument and then he gave you an insult.
No.
He didn't have the insult within the premises of his argument. He laid out his argument and then insulted you.
Who was that person that left? If you bring
very different.
If you go back, you could just see that he was gaslighting earlier, and he was just saying, "Oh, you're stupid. You don't understand."
So now you're using gaslighting.
I would
Okay.
like
Now
to
you're bringing
interject
more
by
terms.
saying.
I guess I don't understand. I have to do research.
You don't know any of the terms that you're using? Thank you.
Okay,
Congratulations.
Okay,
I
Ding,
would
ding, ding,
like.
you're a moron.
That's cool.
I would like to interject.
Hey guys, this is getting a little crazy. Let's
Say that.
keep some order here. SD, would you like to read the next question?
In about 2 minutes' time, I can read the next question. Sure. But, I just wanted to make sure that the questions were read out because a lot of them came to me in DMs. So.
Okay, sure.
Sure, but I think Cuddles was unless Zoom, you wanted to talk about something else.
I mean, I've been wanting to talk about ethics for a while now, but I mean, if you guys have something else,
yeah, we were talking
you want
about
to go into more.
We were talking about ethics. Yeah, we were trying to sort of set up a framework to like to ethics and meta ethics and things like that, and what we mean, so we don't get into like a political argument and things like that.
Right. I mean, I get what you're saying about that. I would just say that that we were talking about something specific with ethics before that sort of got lost in translation. So we could go back to that, or you could just keep talking about what you were talking about before.
I mean, I'm about to eat soon. I could just make like a final point and just kind of put in. So, like, basically about the empathy thing, because I think those are really interesting. I think Patty is that what her name is? She was actually getting to a point where it's like there's not really a better or worse moral. You just kind of have different cups. So, in the context of empathy, or what do we extend moral consideration to? This is ultimately what many people consider an arbitrary line. So, it can include animals, but it may not include all life. Right? There's like a cutoff. Sentience is usually the cutoff. So. There's like it would cut off pretty much most animals or pretty much everything except for like bivalves, and that's fine. You can have that standard, and that'll be perfectly consistent within your standard. But the question is, why should other people adopt that standard? I could have a completely different standard, and that would mean that within my system would be justified. So this is where the meta ethics comes in when it comes to handling moral disagreement.
So Nancy, would you say I guess it's adjacent to veganism? Would you say you're a moral realist?
No.
Okay.
Morals is subjective.
So I think what Cuddles is saying is a natural consequence of moral anti-realism or of moral subjectivism.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. Yeah, okay, I understand.
Okay, cool.
Because a moral realist would say something like, "Well, yeah, no, murder is wrong, and everything you murder is wrong." But I'm not that. I mean, you can't really say for sure.
Well, murder is wrong is tautological. So basically, murder is defined as wrongful killing. The difference is what criteria would people consider wrong?
Wrongful, yeah.
Exactly. So what do you consider a wrongful killing? And in Patty's case, she would say killing animals for food would not be considered wrongful. In a vegan's case, they probably would say that, except in very rare circumstances, killing animals for food is wrongful. So we can all say murder is wrong. The question really is, what is murder? Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we can go into we were going a little bit into the meta ethics of how do we, or kind of epistemology of how do we know what animals are capable of? How do we and what does that actually mean in terms of if it's okay to kill them for food or not? So we can return to that, or we can just go on to something else, because there's clearly a lot that we all want to talk about.
Does anybody else want to return to that, or do you want to start a new one? I don't want to take up everyone's time or conversation, you know.
Right. Okay, it looks like we finally got the VC quiet. So
yeah.
I guess we can return to that if you want. So
I don't mind.
We were talking about animals and animal intelligence, right?
Yeah. So I said something along the lines of you know, animals perceive how they animals perceive, you know, their life, and to take do you agree to take life away from something is wrong?
And I was saying that I would argue that the inherent act of just taking a life away from something that's alive is not inherently wrong unless the agent in question has a desire, an understanding, I guess you could say, to continue living.
I
And
mean,
an
I don't.
understanding that
So
they
yeah,
want.
that would be the argument of the cockroach. I mean, I think every animal knows that they're in danger, or whenever they're in danger, or can conceive of getting hurt to a point where they can't do anything further. Um, Even like I said, I provided the cockroach analogy. You know, if you slam next to a cockroach or step near a cockroach, it'll run for its life because it knows it can be incapacitated to a point. You know, where it can't live at all, or it can't live a good life, or what it perceives as a good life.
How do you know that? How do you know that they're
I
just
don't
not
think I'd
avoiding it
actually
because of the?
you. Zycron, can I just do it? You can have your chance soon, man.
Mhm.
I don't think you actually need that. I think a cockroach can run purely on gene expression and biological
How
programming.
so?
It can have a fear response when something is going to harm it, or is going to crush it, but it doesn't actually have to understand what death is or what its life is. I don't think it even has a sense of I. I don't think it can say, I feel this way.
Does it want
Because
to procreate?
That's irrelevant. That's
Ooh.
done to the same thing. That if you want procreation is just
Yeah, I wouldn't.
gene expression
Mm.
and not done out of some sort of introspective sense of self or I.
So you're comfortable with murdering any? Well, I guess for you it wouldn't be murder necessarily. You're comfortable with killing anything that doesn't have a sense of self.
Okay, not everything. I went into this with Thomas where I said I wouldn't be okay with doing it to marginal case humans.
Okay, but why not?
Because I value looking like a human and being a human.
Okay, why don't you?
Oh boy.
That's a good. You make good points. You make good points. I have to be honest with you.
Except if you have a disabled child, then you're like, oh my goodness, is this guy gonna try to?
Well,
eat
no,
the
but that's
child
the thing.
because-
He values humans. That's the thing. So he gets to choose what he values on a subjective. Because that's the thing. I mean, if I was a moral realist, I would continue this argument. But I mean, I'm not. So he values what he values, and he doesn't value animals. Well, to the degree of life, I would say, yeah. You know what I mean, too.
Fucking killing dogs and stuff, huh?
Well, that's a good argument.
All right. Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I do want to clarify. I mean, it is a subjective thing, and I do understand that not everyone's gonna agree with that, and I respect that. I have no problem with that.
Of course,
I know this is like a personal ideology that I hold.
Yeah, I can't tell you you're wrong, but you can't tell me I'm wrong either. You can only present your arguments, and I can only convince you to, I guess, be more empathetic towards animals. You know, like. Yeah.
And I understand
don't kill dogs.
what you're saying, and I do agree that we do
On the street.
need to be kinder to animals, and that the way we treat them in factory farms is completely disgusting, and it needs to end.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree, and honestly, I'm happy that this was like a sort of rational discussion, because I feel like most conversations that go like this, they end up, someone screaming and stupid shit. I wasn't here to debate anyone really. I was just kind of here to hear everyone's perspective. I talk to a lot of vegans and vegetarians on this, but I never get the chance to hear like carnivores or a meat eater. So it was interesting.
Yeah, it was for sure.
I'd be happy to scream at you if you want.
I'm here for the screaming. If anybody wants that, I'm available. Just letting you guys know, I'm available.
Let's fucking get it. I like that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Is this gonna be
Zoom,
recorded?
What's your favorite season of The Flash? Just real quick.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll answer one question about that. Probably season 1.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. This is a good one. Yeah.
Okay.
But I like season 2, obviously, because Zoom. But
yeah,
season 1.
Yeah. I mean, as far as vegan arguments go, this one is pretty good because basically, I started to get into veganism because I think the conversation's interesting. The problem is that vegan debates online are absolute garbage because you have debate bros assholes like Ask Yourself or like Vegan Game to debate. And if you
Yeah.
have bad faith, is all hell. So nothing of progress happens.
Yeah, no, it's always just, oh, you're so stupid because you eat animals, and it's always like, well, no, you're just a pansy, and I'm just like, why can't we just actually discuss things? Maybe we'd get something out of each
Because
other,
that
honestly.
requires brains. You need brains to
I
discuss things.
Yeah.
do completely agree, Nancy. I definitely do think that 90 arguments online or discussions online about veganism are complete garbage. Arguments like on both sides are terrible and
Yeah.
cringe.
For sure, man. I like this server. I'm gonna send this server to my friends. The server seems pretty chill.
Hey, don't
Nice.
bring a lot of vegans here.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dude.
slice most of them. I'm
I actually,
I'm probably nice and quiet today because I'm playing a game right now.
yeah. I actually, what's it called? Like, I'm not too well versed on this subject at all. I just came in here on a whim, like, cause I joined the server a while ago, and somebody invited. But I can bring somebody in here who's been a vegan for like 30 years and is probably more rational and calm than I am. So it'd be interesting to see you guys debate her.
Okay.
By all means,
Yeah.
we will. Even though Sid might have made it seem like it's we have a thing against vegans. I mean, we welcome anyone here, and I actually think it's good when we have more vegans because we're a little underrepresented at the moment.
Yeah.
So by all means.
Yeah. Our main vegan is kind of away, so yeah. We
Hmm.
had a main vegan.
I'll be your main vegan. Make me a moderator or something that
Hmm.
can't be kicked all the time.
No, you don't get more.
Nobody kicked you.
Something.
Zoom, how do you
Something.
feel about the health of eating like animals and stuff?
So I haven't looked into this as much as I have the ethics. I think you can be healthy eating some animal products in your diet.
Yeah.
Like I think the Mediterranean diet is probably one of the healthiest diets you can have, and that involves some animal products. But I don't think that there's any real health downsides to being vegan. Like I would say me and Dread disagree there, where I think you can be completely healthy on like on a vegan diet if it's well planned and supplemented and all that.
That's where I guess I have more knowledge on the concepts of veganism, is the sort of health aspect of it, because I was completely healthy. I run track. I lift 3 times a week. And I'm fast. I do what I do. We win championships and everything in my city. And I was on a vegan diet a while ago, and I switched to a vegetarian diet just because I like to eat cheese. And occasionally I'll go out and eat meat. But I was completely fine on a vegan diet. I got all of my protein and my carbohydrates and everything on a vegan diet. I did have to eat a little bit more. I will say that, because rice and quinoa and things like that only has so much protein in it. So yeah, it was a weird switch, but I was completely fine. So when people say that, that's when that's my stronger arguments.
A lot of
I would
people
say.
can't push themselves to eat that much rice though, and like bulk
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like and like
I
as somebody
agree.
who
I
did a
agree.
vegan diet, like I understand exactly what you're saying, man. Like it's tough out there.
Yeah.
That transition.
I definitely agree. Because sometimes it's not even about like the amount you're eating. It could just be like the taste. Like you could just be like, oh, I hate this food, and then you become upset because you can't eat the food you enjoy, and it's just it's a mess over there too.
Yeah, it's I agree. It's more. I'm not saying like it's super easy to be vegan and you can just do it like in a heartbeat, but I think there's this definitely conception for a lot of people that you just can't be healthy on a vegan diet, and that that's like an argument against veganism is I need to eat meat in order to actually be healthy. And I don't know. I haven't actually seen that much compelling evidence showing that.
Yeah. I especially for vegetarianism as well. Like, I think being a vegetarian is probably a little better. This is my own opinion. It's probably a little better than being a complete vegan. But especially like when we bring in like the sort of economics of it and everything, you know how many like farms and things that we have to close down if we became vegan um, as a society. So I think it's
But
still.
also,
Mhm.
vegetarian food is delicious. On a serious note,
It
like
is.
vegetarian food be popping. Like you
It
can just
is.
have the
Yeah.
most awesome flavor combination on a palate. Like I wish there was more vegetarian options, and I honestly wish it was more accepted and it wasn't all sensationalized and
I
people
mean,
felt the need
cheese
to have it
pizza
all
is
be vegan.
vegetarian.
Yeah. 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 You don't have to like be some grass eater to be a vegetarian or a vegan. You definitely have a ton more options being vegetarian. So I recommend that to everybody. At least lower your meat intake. Like I did. I definitely have lowered my meat intake, and I feel a lot better because of it. Just on a personal note.
I would agree with that for sure, because I do think for
Hold up. I think it might cut up here.
His internet connection sometimes craps out. He'll be back in a second, probably.
Oh, damn. That's good conversation.
I'm back.
Oh, hello.
Right.
You were saying.
So I was gonna say that I actually do completely support cutting back on meat consumption for not just ethical reasons, because the type of way that I want animals to be raised cannot be done on a super, super large scale, because it requires them having adequate space and just adequate, like, support. And there's just, and this comes also into environmentalism, like there's just physically not enough room on Earth to do it and have as much meat as we eat now. So we would need to obviously cut back quite a bit and eat much less than we do.
Definitely. And I would also say on a health note, like just starting your day off with meat and having to process that throughout the day, especially if it's like big fatty meats like bacon and things like that, it doesn't do too well for your body. You feel a lot cleaner. Your body moves a lot more fluid whenever you start your day off with like some fruit and some oatmeal and lighter things. There's that's why I personally did it, because I could definitely tell the difference. I eat meat at night, actually. Like at the end of my day I'll eat meat. But in the mornings, if I want to wake up and I want to feel as good as I can, then I'll start my day off with like an apple or a banana or some peanuts, and then I'll increase food as I go.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that there's like a health standpoint you can give for a lot of people, that eating less meat would just improve health outcomes. And like, I think we eat, like, generally people eat too many calories just in a day. So it help lower like excessive caloric consumption. Like,
Yeah.
just, I think it would really, I do agree that, like, just my overall point is that eating less meat is something I'm in favor of. And I
Me
think it
too.
would benefit our society.
Definitely. Now, when we get into not eating meat at all, I guess that's where it gets a little hairy for me, because sometimes it is a better option to eat meat. But yeah, I'm glad we can agree there. Definitely, eating less meat is the way to go. That's cool.
Totally.
Cool. I'm gonna send you an ad. I have to go. But
Oh, cool. It was nice talking to you, Nancy.
yeah,
See you
it was nice
around,
talking
man.
to you guys too. Yeah, see you around. I'll be in here with my friend next time.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anyone else have something they want to discuss?
Well, I had plenty, but apparently I wasn't supposed to speak. I was shut down by the moderators.
Cat's here.
Hello.
Been a while. Nice.
How's it going?
Can you do the introduction?
Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
That's a sexy introduction right there.
So don't make it weird.
Why?
Oh, she joined.
Hey, Nancy.
I was just talking about you.
Wait, that's your friend?